Hello, hello. I'm trying to go live here, having some issues, but we will get this figured out. Seems no matter how much I practice, I always have issues when it's time to actually go live. I know you cannot see me yet. That is fine. I am working on it. Always something. Okay, I think I am live now. Hello everyone. Sorry for the shenanigans there. Took a minute to get everything going. So I'll give it a few minutes for everyone to get here. I know I had a previous stream up that ended up crashing and it was a mess and my microphone wasn't working. And once again, I tested everything out prior to getting on, but when it was time to go live, things just went bad. So yeah, let's get into this pretty soon. We're gonna give everyone a few more minutes, see if anyone else shows up. It is raining here, so hopefully I have no power issues. My cat Cosmo is being a little hellion, so he might make some noise, but should all be fine. Hello, hello. Happy you could make it to this ranking. I really want to get some of the input from some of my patrons. This is really more of a Patreon or a patron ranking because I finished season 4 on Patreon and I have not even gotten close to that on YouTube yet. But I'm going to leave it open for everyone in case anyone on YouTube who is watching my few and far between Vampire Diary reactions to be able to see how I think about these characters as I've gone into season 4 and beyond. We got 4 people here. Fantastic. We're just going to give it to about 10:40 and we will get rocking and rolling. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you see me okay? Is audio good? Video? Everything fantastic, I hope. I do not go live very often, so I'm a bit of an amateur. Got my electrolyte water. You can see I've gotten a few characters here. Now let me rearrange these. I had them arranged previously, but due to the shenanigans of the computer system, they got thrown out of whack. I didn't want to put most of my favorite characters near the bottom because you want to do those last. Who else? Yeah, I think that's about it. We'll move the stars of the show to last. Throw Rebecca down here. Why not? Put her next to her brothers. Asshole brothers. They're the worst. Let me see. I think that's our main. Where's Bonnie? There's Bonnie. She's a main cast member too. She gets down here. Alaric, you're kind of a main cast member, even though you're dead. My ghostly friend. And of course, we got to get Tyler. And where's Matt? Matt's already down here. Good deal. Okay, that seems about fair of a setup. Now let's group Oh, so let me go over this real quick too. So I have them color coordinated because I'm just a weirdo. Green is human. Black is original. Uh, Yellow, witch. White is Silas. He's one of a kind, so he gets his own color. This kind of bluish color is werewolf. This dark green is hunter, and purple is hybrid. Klaus should be purple and black, but I just went with black because he's a original first, a hybrid second. Hello, pudding thief. Better not be stealing my pudding. That would not be cool. Put all our humans together. All right. Yeah, looking pretty good. We'll move Catherine down here. We'll do the original that we know the best, and then our vampire friends. All right, folks, we're going to give it about 5 more minutes. We'll get this going. Anyone have any questions or anything they want to ask me or talk about? Or the floor is open. I'm willing to talk Vampire Diary stuff. I'm willing to talk other stuff too, things that I might be watching or life in general. I don't care. I did see the new Super Mario Brothers movie with my daughter. It was fantastic. I recommend it. It is the first movie I've gone to in a theater in probably 2+ years. And it was nice. They had nice reclining seats. I don't remember them having those prior to the last time I went. So pretty nice. And the movie was a quick pace, only 90 minutes. Perfect, fun time. Highly recommend. If you like Mario. If you don't like Mario, you'll have a good time too. I mean, who doesn't like Jack Black doing a few songs? Hilarious. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Everything's working and we ain't got nothing broken. I'm so excited. I get excited, I sing, even though I can't sing. Yeah, good deal. Ready to get into this ranking here. So much I want to say about some of these characters. Some of the characters I don't have much to say about at all. Some of them I can't even remember their name, but that's not surprising. I remember no one's name. Names are the enemy. My mind. Not as sharp as I used to be up here. All right, we got 2 more minutes. We'll get this show on the road. Oh, so much to say, especially once we get to this bottom row. That's really where I got quite a bit to say. Top row, you know. At least there's no Vicky on the panel, right? I still hate her more than any other character. Vicky. You're horrible. Horrible girl. All right, T-minus 1 minute. Cosmo, what are you doing over there, buddy? Causing trouble. Okay. I'm ready. Got my emergency ponytail holder. The hair gets too out of control. Hope everyone is doing well, though. Love to all of you. Greetings and salutations. Nothing but love on this channel. Yeah, we all love Vicky, I bet. I bet we all love Vicky. The worst. Oh, and I've known people like Vicky, and it's just, you can't help people who can't help themselves, who have no desire to change. And she was just happy being the worst character on the show. Okay, we're at 10:40. Let's get going here. So we're going to start off with this character ranking. Our first person, I believe her name is April. Honestly, what was the purpose of her character? She was just there. They tried to shoehorn her in for certain things. Maybe they tried to make us like her. Never worked. She was pointless. I wish she was in the cabin with her father. That's mean. But yeah, she was just a terrible character. She's not Vicky bad. So we'll go to C tier. Oh, well, hold on. Let me go over the tiers first, in case anyone doesn't know. So this is your typical A, B, C, D. Everyone knows that ranking. But then there's S tier. S is superior. S is the best of the best of the best. It is beyond A plus. It is next level awesomeness that just makes you smile till your face hurts and you just want to see stories about these characters until the end of time. That's S tier. All right. The originals. Yes, I have watched my first episode of the originals. Though the first episode of the originals was very much like one of the episodes of season 4 of the Vampire Diaries, just told from kind of a different perspective. But you know what? It was great. It was great. I think I'm going to be pretty damned hyped for the originals. I think I'm going to love it. Alan, B5, dude. B5. So good. I'm going to try to get that part 2 up by the end of the weekend. I think I'll have a little bit of free time to edit Sunday after all the family get together, eat food stuff dies down. So fingers crossed you will have part 2, Babylon 5, before the weekend's out. Okay, so yeah, now that we got the tiers out of the way. Yeah, so you were so right. It's so boring, April. It's the worst. But once again, she's not Vicky bad. She didn't make me angry to my core and I wanted to kill her. So we'll just go C tier. Hello, M. Hello. And anyone who's here who doesn't watch Vampire Diaries, just want you to know you should check it out. It's fun. It's fast paced. It's crazy. It is a good break from shows like Babylon 5, The Expanse, just these really heavy shows that sometimes you get a headache watching just because it's so it's not even crazy. It's a whole different level. You know what I mean? But Babylon 5 and The Expanse are great. But the Vampire Diaries, I'm telling y'all, it's just as good, but it's funner. Like, and you can just kind of relax a little bit more because you know it's kind of a different pace show. But love it. Toast with no butter, yes indeed. But yeah, so Babylon 5, Vampire Diaries, very different shows, both freaking amazing. Highly recommend. All right, we're gonna go next to Caroline's mom. What's her name? Liz? Or is that Tyler's mom? I'm bad with names. So Caroline's mom has really grown as a character from the first time we met her. When she was, the head of the council. Well, she wasn't the head of the council, but she was, she was high up there. And yeah, so she was really anti-vampire. I mean, she would kill vampires. She had no love for them, would not tolerate them. And now she knows her daughter's a vampire. She loves her daughter. She has friends who are vampires. She actively helps them cover up their crimes. Maybe that's not so good, but she has really grown into this supportive, amazing character who I thought died in season 4 at one point because it was pretty damn close. And it really hit me. Maybe it hit me more because how Caroline was acting and crying. I love my girl Caroline. But she has moved up from probably a C-list character. I believe I ranked her C last time. She's a solid B, though. Solid B. Liz Forbes, that's it. But yeah, she is a solid B character. Approaching A, but she's just not really in it enough to garner the A character. But she's solid B. Great character. Great growth. Writing, acting, all of it. So yeah, love it. And yeah, you do need to check out B5 and The Expanse. Mike, War Without End Part 2. I just mentioned I haven't had time to edit. I am hoping to have it done by the end of the weekend. So hopefully Sunday it will be up, probably late. But I got this ranking I'm doing. It's been on the schedule for about 2-3 weeks now. So it is getting done. I'm a man of my word. And I got some videos I got to film, but tomorrow should have some free time after the family food and all. And I will get on to that next part of Babylon 5. I don't want to leave everyone hanging. I'm sorry I left y'all hanging. I was gonna try to get it all in one, but realistically, YouTube copyright would have ate that version alive. No way I could have put 20, 30 minutes of footage in one video. They'd have copyrighted me to hell and back, and it would have been a mess trying to even get it posted. So Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Okay. I have a feeling this live is going to be a lot of Babylon 5 people popping in going, hey man, where's part 2 of that 2-parter? It's an amazing 2-parter. Freaking amazing. All right, back to Vampire Diaries. I'm going to get sidetracked the whole time. All right, we're going to, I don't even know this guy's name. This is Bonnie's father. I know him from Supernatural. He was the first vampire, so it really always kind of cracked me up that he is in the Vampire Diaries, even though he is the original vampire in the Supernatural universe. So that's great. He seems like a good father, a supportive father, and he just wants what's best for his daughter, and he's pretty damn supportive having this crazy, super powerful witch as a daughter, a vampire ex-wife, a witch mother-in-law, or was it his mother? I think it's mother-in-law. But yeah, he was a good character. I kind of feel bad putting him down. Well, shit, hold on. All right, I got to move April to D. I'm sorry. I'm moving April to D because I'm putting Bonnie's father at C. And he's better than April. I can't put him down there with April. So I'm rearranging my whole setup here for this. All right, so next. Yeah, can't no one remember his name, but I thought he deserved a spot on here. I should have looked up his name, but I didn't. All right, we have, well, it makes you feel any better. I don't know Tyler's mom's name either. Miss Lockwood. Miss Lockwood. So she's a good character. She's not as good as Liz, as Caroline's mom, but she's a supportive mom too, though a little crazy. It's a damn shame what happened to her though. Like sometimes I forget some of the things Klaus has done. And then when you remember it, you're like, oh, that's why everyone hates him. Because I kind of forget some of what he did. And I'm like, he's not that bad. He hasn't done that bad of a thing. And then you're like, oh, yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The sky has just fallen out, by the way. So if you can hear that, some nice peaceful rain. Yes, Carol. Carol sounds right. Carol's a good character. She's up there with Bonnie's father. She's not Liz level good. Not at all. Not at all. Klaus drowning her was epic. Epic and sad and violent. And it showed how little of a fuck he actually gave. But we're going to get into it when I get to Klaus. I have a lot to say about Klaus. I'll probably start ranting, and the more y'all interact with me, the more I'll rant. We could be here for hours, folks. Some of these have gone on for 2-3 hours, so this might be one of those if you get me going. Hopefully the drinking isn't that distracting. All right, we're moving on to another character I don't know the name of. A better YouTuber would have taken notes, written down names. That is not me. That is not me. I am not overly professional at this, am I? Not at all. You know what? It's all good. You're getting the experience of watching the show with me when I don't know their names either. So we're doing it right. So we got Doctor here, who was hooked up with Alaric. She was way out of his league, I think. She was super hot. And she was using vampire blood to heal people. It's kind of crazy, and it worked. Meredith, thank you. That's why I have all of you. Y'all are great. Meredith. She was a fun character. They definitely set it up to make you think maybe she was a killer. Maybe she was doing something dark and shady. But they really set it up so you thought the worst of her. She turned out to be a pretty solid character. I'm speaking too fast. I don't think we've seen her recently in season 4. I mean, it's been a while since she's been in an episode as far as I can remember. But she was fine. I mean, is she B or C though? I mean, oh, she was hella sneaky at the beginning. That's what I'm saying, man. They made it look like she's out there ganking folks. And that's what I thought. I was like, yeah, she's killing people. But then I was like, no, it's got to be a misdirect because they're making her way too way too suspicious right off the bat. But I like her character. She's going up there to B level. B level. I want to see more of her. All right, then we have another character I don't know the name of. Call him Professor. The Professor, the manipulative professor. Using Bonnie. He was molding her, shaping her into becoming this tool to raise the first immortal Silas. And he orchestrated countless deaths. I mean, 1313, like he orchestrated the death of the humans, the death of the hybrids, and I think Bonnie orchestrated the death of the witches. So I can't put that on him. But yeah, Shane. M, yes. Damon could have done some damage there. But Shane was a good character. I didn't like him at first, but as you learn more about him, you discover his motivation, his reasoning, and he was a broken man who just wanted his love back. He was willing to do anything, sacrifice anyone. And I think even he was blinded. He blinded himself with his grief and his loss and his desire. And I mean, he was a pretty tragic guy, but at the end of the day, he was a mass murderer who manipulated people and got what he deserved in the end. But yeah, he was a good character. I'm glad he's dead though. I'm glad he's dead and we move on. So but character wise, he's a solid B. Great acting, great writing. His motivations were clear, his character grew. It was good. Yeah, worse than Klaus? A little bit. Yeah, I definitely think he was blinded by his grief and his loss. I think if he was thinking rationally, he probably wouldn't have done what he did. But at the end of the day, he's a grown up. You take responsibility for your actions, dude, and your actions killed a lot of people and did some bad shit. Not to mention helped Silas be risen, which is a whole nother can of worms. So yeah, dude, you should have went and got you some freaking therapy. Maybe got you some pills or something and dealt with grief in a non-homicidal way. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there for everyone on here. If you're having a bad day, you're depressed, things aren't going good, it happens to us all. You don't try to raise the first immortal and kill a bunch of folks through some weird witch ritual, because that's just not how grown-ups handle their problems. So, oh my goodness. This is Cosmo, everybody. He's going a little nuts on me. Quit, dude. Psycho. All right. Professor Shane versus April's Dead, the pastor. I'm saying Shane was worse, and it's only because we didn't really get to see much of April's father. I know he was like a crazy religious fundamental type, but he only killed himself and 12 other people, where Shane killed a bunch more, and through his actions led to so much more. Now, I think if we maybe saw April's father more and kind of got more into his character, he probably would have been worse. But judging on what I've seen, I have to go with Shane being worse than April's Dead, the pastor. Just on body count alone. Yeah, I don't know if Klaus ever met Shane. I don't think so. I could be wrong. All right, let's see. Any other? Okay, brought into what he was selling, no doubt. Yeah, I do think Shane's worse. Cosmo says hi as well. Okay, next person. We have Grams. Grams, who, even though she died in what, season one? I think she died in season one. She's shown back up multiple times. Her spirit form. She is a witch. They are never truly dead. They have access to their mojo on the other side. So they do all sorts of shenanigans. I love Grams. I love Grams. She's a great character. I remember her from a show when I was growing up. Is it Different Worlds, or it was at a college? I can't remember exactly, but I loved her in that. I remember she was one of my first crushes. I think that's the show. But Grams is an amazing character. Looking out for her daughter, looking out for the world, well, for her granddaughter, looking out for the world, trying to keep the balance of nature and dark and light. Amazing. Grams is great. Grams, solid A character. Solid A character. It's always a good time when Grams shows up. We're going to get some wisdom. We're going to get maybe freaked out a little bit. There's going to be some mojo. Yeah. I love it when Grams shows up. It's always a good time. She did die too soon, but the perk of it is, like I said, even though she's dead, she can still be in the show because she's a witch. So it's fantastic. Yeah, I wish I had a Grams like Grams. Maybe she could have taught me some mojo. That'd have been cool. I don't think I have that blood in me, though. I'm not a Bennett. I'm not from the Bennett line. Most powerful witches in all the land. Speaking of powerful witch, we have our first delve into the birth of the vampires in this world. We have the Michelson witch, the mom. I don't know her name. Mama Michelson is what I call her in the show. That's what I'll call her here. We have Mama Michelson, created vampires to keep her family safe at the behest of her lunatic husband. And we'll get into him when the time comes. And yeah, she wants to kill her children. She wants to undo what she has done. He wants to erase the mistake, the blight upon the world she has created. And when you think about it, that is what vampires are. They're a blight. They are a creature created of darkness and magic that spreads like a plague and destroys to live. Pretty bad. Esther, yeah, won't get Mother of the Year. Yeah, she might get it from Finn. He's the biggest mama's boy I've ever seen in my life, and that's why he's next on the list. But Esther was a solid character. You know, I love seeing her in the past. I love seeing her when she was risen, her trying to manipulate everyone, acting like the caring, loving mother. But in the end, she'd have burned everything down. Solid character. But at the end of the day, I'll throw her in C tier because I liked her for what she brought to the show because of what it brought out in other characters, not so much her character. If that makes sense. Now, someone who would kill me for saying that is up next, and is her son Finn, our first original vampire to rate. Finn's a mama's boy. I think he always has been. He would have done anything Mama asked, and he tried, and he died. And that was great because, yeah, I did not like Finn at all. But he's not pointless April level bad. April, I'm sorry, you're my go-to trasher. I'm going to trash talk you to make other people seem not as bad. So Finn, I'll put you up there with your mama because you're both just C-list characters. You served your purpose, but that's about it. Yes, I cannot wait to get more into the originals. I think I'm going to be watching an episode next week, I believe, and that's going to be awesome. All right, Michael Michelson. Is that right? Or is it sound like Porky Pig? Is it Meekle Michelson? Yeah, why was he state for so long? He was a psychotic mama's boy. All right, so we got Papa Michelson here, the hunter of vampires, the drinker of vampire blood. He was a good character. He was built up as this intimidating force. Someone Klaus, the original hybrid, was afraid of his daddy. I mean, I get it. A lot of people are afraid of their daddies, but it was pretty damn good. It was pretty damn good. He was a good character. I liked him kind of working with our little crew at first when he was found chained up. And he's like, I'll work with you to kill my bastard son and chase them across the world. He is the reason they left New Orleans, I think. I believe that's what they said. So yeah, and he died. So that was kind of sad. I know him from Supernatural, which is where I first know this actor from. He played the archangel. Is it Azrael or Gabriel? I don't know which one he played, but he played one of the archangels, and he was great in that. He was great in this. He's a good character. I want to excuse me. He's a character I'd want to see more of. Put him up there in B list because he's good. Should have got more screen time, but it is what it is. Yeah, the only one Klaus ever feared was his daddy. That's because daddy did some emotional damage to our boy Klaus while he's growing up. Klaus acts the way Klaus does because of daddy. Daddy jacked that boy up. I mean, he's got this just feeling of he has no self-worth and just we're gonna get into Klaus. I can't even get started on him yet. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole. Yes, Baltazar. That was his name. Michaelson's daughter. That'd be that'd be a terrible name for Rebecca, but it does make sense. And hello, Mac Taylor. I want you to know this. Since I've quit posting on YouTube, my Vampire Diary reactions for the most part, just because I have limited time and they didn't get great views, I still think of you, and you're the only person I feel bad. Like, I feel bad because I don't post and you can't watch. Because you were always there, leaving great comments. Super nice. One of my first people, I think, that left me a comment on my Vampire Diary reactions, and I feel bad because you don't get to see my reactions now. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I still think sometimes like, oh man, I just want to post for you because you are always so nice. But welcome to my ranking. You're gonna see what I think about characters now that I'm just started season 5. So this is my season 4. But welcome. I don't I don't think anyone was treated as bad as Klaus was treated. Because I think Michael knew something was wrong with Klaus from the get-go. Maybe he always suspected this isn't my son, or saw something in him that just instinctively made him dislike him, because he treated him like shit in every flashback and every modern scene we saw. Like Papa hated Klaus. All right, I am going to eventually post back on YouTube. It's just a time thing. I don't post much on YouTube as it is right now because I just don't have the time. And when I do have the time, I want to try to focus on posting things that get the most views from what I watch. And the Vampire Diaries just view wise, it's just never did that well. And I probably have a total of about 600 videos I have filmed that have not been edited for YouTube yet. I'm not even lying, like 600 videos. And when I have time to edit, I'm just going to focus on what is getting the most views from the shows I watch. And then eventually, as I go through my vast back catalog of videos to edit, I will eventually get to everything over a long enough timeline. So yes, they will eventually come out, but I have no idea when, just because time is my great enemy. If there was some way, I I could like freeze time, I would like freeze time. I would edit for years, then unfreeze time and post everything at once. But yeah, so all right, let's see what we got here. I think Finn definitely likes him, Mama more. Oh yeah. I'm glad you got the notification. I'm glad you are here. Yes, they do look alike. Klaus and Papa Michelson, they do look like they could be father and son. House of the Dragon, I have watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. I think I have 1 or 2 episodes on YouTube, but I never got a chance to finish it. I'm watching a lot of shows for my Patreon right now, and it's hard to work in things that are not part of that kind of schedule. But I will eventually get back to it, and I will film my reactions, and they will eventually be posted. But once again, they will be put on the list and will get posted whenever I get to them. Once again, 600 plus videos have to be edited. It's really daunting when I think about it. Like, I got a shit ton of videos to edit. I have what? I have 2 terabytes of videos saved that need to be edited for YouTube. All right, let's get back to it. I told y'all get me some questions. I'll rant all day long. All right, so we're going to our next original vampire, Finn. Finn seemed like a nice, fun-loving dude. I just wanted to be a vamp, live his life, have fun, maybe kill a few people here and there. But you know what? That's just part of being a vampire. Let's just have some fun. And, he seemed like a pretty good guy. A pretty good guy. He died, obviously. He came back for a little bit and he was super pissed and wanted to wreak vengeance upon everyone. And I don't blame him. He's a good character though. Oh, did I call him Finn? It's Cole. Did I call him Finn? I might have called him Finn. It's Cole. Yes, Cole. I just did Finn. Finn's an asshole. Cole was pretty cool. Once again, terrible with names. Cole was a good dude. He seemed fun. I would like to see more of him. Yes, I know. I'm bad with names. I meant Cole. I actually knew his name, but I called him Finn because I get names mixed up constantly. That part of my brain that does names just does not work. So yes, Cole. Cole is a cool character, fun character. Finn's an asshole. Finn's here. Nobody likes Finn. Cole was cool though. I'd like to see more of Cole. Sadly, he is dead. But you know what? This is the Vampire Diaries. I'm now watching the originals. I'm sure I'm going to see more Cole, whether it's in flashbacks on the originals or some sort of magical shenanigans, because that's the beauty of a supernatural show. No one's truly dead. There's always a way. When there's a world filled with magic, anything can happen. And yeah, Cole was cool. He's going to B tier because I would like to see him come back. All the characters in B tier, I would like to see more of. C tier, I'm kind of fine that they're gone. And D tier's trash. A tier, oh, Grams. Grams is so cool. Yeah. Cole just wanted to live his life and have a good time. You know what? Just have some fun being a vamp, dude. Yes. All right. See who we got here next. Stefan's oldest friend. I liked her when I first met her. What's her name? It's not Lizzie. I forget her. I forgot her name. I actually liked her. Not Lizzie. Son of a bitch. Someone tell me her name. Cole is literally one of the wisest. He is pretty wise. Lexi. Hey, cat, quit hitting my camera. Making it shake. Yes, Lexi. And yes, Cole does seem to be pretty wise. Like, he just wise in like, let me just live my life and get away from all this crazy shit. The more I hang around my family, the bigger chance I'm gonna get staked by a dagger or get killed by a magical stake covered in silver. Yeah. Lexi I liked. when I first met her. But as the show has gone on, the more I've seen her, the less I've come to like her. I still like her for the most part. But when Damon played her in 70s New York, it was it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I don't think we'll live it down that he killed him. It kind of sucked that Damon killed her. But when you learn more about their history and that 1970s New York, man, where she thought she was reaching him and touching him and going to change him the way she changed his brother, and he played her. It was beautiful, beautiful. And it shows how fundamentally wrong she is about Damon. Damon did not turn emotions off. Damon is not this mindless, uncontrolled killer who has no heart, no feelings. No, he has it all. And he chooses to be who he is. And sometimes it is monstrous. Sometimes he does monstrous things, but guess what? He's a vampire. He is a monster. But he takes responsibility for who and what he is and what he does. And it was great. It was great. And it kind of explained kind of why he killed her, I think. We got a little more of the back story. But character wise, she's a great character. And I am always happy when Lexi shows back up in an episode. No. Damon's problem is he has no control of his feelings. None. Well, he has more control than Klaus. Klaus is like Damon, who has really lost control of his emotions. It's great though. I mean, yeah, Damon is a very emotional vamp, but he's great. He's great. Him and Klaus, so good. Okay. All right, we're on to the next character that I don't know the name of. It is the Hunter dude who showed up. He had like a Winnebago or a van or something filled with booby traps. Came to kill vampires. He was in a few episodes before Elena killed him. Vampire Elena, that is. He was a good character. He was kind of cool, just killing vamps. He was also being manipulated by Professor Whackjob. But he was a pretty cool guy. He helped Jeremy kind of realize something about himself. Solid character. Do I ever want to see him again? Not really, but he's on the list. So, all right. So next, I don't think I want to do Silas yet. Let's move him. No, I think he's in a pretty good spot. All right. We have Silas. Now, I should have put a picture of Steph in there, but I thought it might be a little confusing. I already have a doppelganger pair here. What's up with all the damn doppelgangers? I'm sure they're going to tell me, so don't tell me. I'm just started season 5. But damn doppelgangers all over the damn place. Is there a Damon doppelganger? Let's throw a Damon doppelganger in there while we're at it. I mean, I think the ladies would appreciate 2 Damons, right? I think some of the fellas would too. But yeah, if you're gonna go down the doppelganger road, let's go all out. Connor. Yeah, Connor's his name. Connor's a good name. Connor was a good character, but I think he played his role, and I'm ready to move on. And yeah, so Connor, rest in peace, my hunter friend. You did a good job. But then we have Silas here. Silas, the first immortal, the first evil. Well, I don't think he's evil. Well, he's kind of evil, but he has crazy powers. I don't even know what all his powers are, other than true immortality, which means he cannot die. Can you cut him into pieces and separate the pieces? And he won't die, but he's not. See, that's why they can't have a character like me in this show. I'd have cut his ass up. I'm sure you can cut him, right? Or is he impervious to harm? He can't be impervious to harm. I'd chainsaw his ass up, put every piece in a different safe, and drop it into a different body of water around the world. Problem solved. Silas is not my problem. And yeah, Silas is cool though. He can control minds, implant visions. He's obviously got some other powers we haven't really been introduced to. He revels in being evil. Yeah, he's the OG vamp. Don't call him a vamp. Yeah, I guess because he's not. Well, if I get it right, and I could be wrong, he's the original vampire, technically. The Michelsons are from a spell that wasn't as pure or was corrupted or was not as good as the spell that made Silas, which is why there are flaws to that form of vampirism. Yeah, yeah. Silas made Klaus think he had a piece of steak in his back and was ripping at himself, made him think Caroline talking to him, like mess with Klaus pretty damn good. Who's my favorite villain? I mean, I don't even know who to call a villain in this show, to be honest. If I had to choose a villain, it would be Papa Michelson. That's been my favorite villain. Because like some people might say it's Catherine, but I don't consider Catherine a villain. Girl just trying to live her life and survive. You know what I mean? Catherine is survivor. That is her nature. I don't consider her really a villain. I mean, I guess Silas is a villain, but once again, I'm just in season 5, so I haven't really seen enough of him to know. I see you're saying Klaus. I don't consider Klaus a villain. Klaus is just trying to live his life too, you know? And by living his life, I mean dominating, controlling, psychotic craziness. But like, yeah, like I don't consider most characters in this show a villain, even the ones that do monstrous things. And I guess that's part of being a show that you're invested in the lives of monsters. I mean, there is no doubt. I mean, you are invested in the story and the lives of monsters. Other than Matt. Matt is the only non-monster, even out of the humans. Like Matt and maybe Caroline's mom. Those are the only two out of everyone who's not a monster. I consider April a monster just because she sucks. But so you are following the lives of these monsters, and they're going to do monstrous things that in other shows would make them villains. Villains. But in this show, you're like, you know, it's just kind of what happens when you're a monster. People die. Sometimes you lose control. Sometimes you kill. It's just kind of shit happens, you know? So, yeah. So the only true villain that I think we've had in the show, in my opinion, is Papa Michelson. I see no redeeming qualities that showed about him. Even as a human, he was a total piece of crap, a-hole to his children, controlling, violent. In his afterlife of being a vampire, it just amplified the level of assholishness he had. I mean, he to me is the only true villain we've had in the show. But I'm still pretty, I mean, maybe Freya, but even she wasn't a villain. She was trying to restore the balance of nature and undo the harm she's caused. So, yeah. My goodness. Shadow Self, or I don't even know. I'm not far enough in yet with that. Phyllis, the OG vamp. Yep. Catherine and Klaus, victims of circumstance. Why? I don't think I'd call Catherine or Klaus victims. I mean, maybe at one point, and maybe that's why they are who they are. But at the end of the day, after a few hundred years, kind of got to take responsibility for being kind of bad folks, but not villainous, not evil. Because I don't know, maybe it's because they have charisma. Maybe if you're charismatic enough, you can do all sorts of crazy shit. I don't know. This is above my pay grade. All right. Let's see. Papa Moccasin is a POS. All right. So yeah, let's get back. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked there. All right. So we have Silas here. His purpose, I'm not really sure yet. I do know in season 5, I'm one episode in, and Silas is already a freaking menace. Cosmo says hi again. He's a menace, but you know what? good character I want to see more of. Put him in B tier only because I haven't seen enough of him. Just all the mind games in season 4. But at the very end, when we kind of see him for who he truly is, and he throws Stefan in a safe into the water, it was pretty good. All right. My goodness, I got on a rant there. Gotta hydrate. Okay, we're moving on. All right, so from this point on, we're in kind of the top tier, folks. Like, this is, if you look at this line of people, these are the characters that I watched the show for. Some of them I've only met recently, but most I've been with for a very, very long time. And I think I know most of these characters' names, which is going to impress myself. All right, we have Haley. Haley are beautiful. Country. She has a weird accent. It's like country / Aussie. And I do know she is from Australia. She and Rebecca were in a show together that my daughter watched about mermaids. I never really watched it. I'd see it playing from time to time. And when I saw them on the Vampire Diaries, it kind of blew my mind. But Haley is awesome. She's sweet. She seems caring. She seems nice. She wants to know who she is and who her family is. She's carrying Klaus's baby. That's freaking nuts. She manipulated Tyler, yes, but she was manipulated by the doctor. Not the doctor, the professor. Professor Psycho. And I like Haley. I'm glad she's in the originals. I want to see more of her. Yeah. Haley. It cracks me up. Haley was given Elijah the sexy eyes. And let's be honest. Do you blame her? I mean, Klaus, you're perfectly fine, dude. But you and Elijah in a room, 9 out of 10 times, they looking at my man Elijah. I don't know. I just think Elijah's the man. Elijah's the man. He's who I would want to be if I was a vampire. If I was a vampire, I would want to be Elijah. That's the type of vampire I'd hope I could be. Just this beautiful, strong, put together, just, oh my goodness. He's awesome. Let's see. Let me get off of we'll have plenty of time to talk Elijah. Let's see. She's responsible for the death of 12. Yes, she is responsible for the death of 12 hybrids. Yes. So she's kind of equal to a few bad people in the show. But you know what? She's likable. She's attractive, and that goes a long way to making me forget the fact that she killed 12 hybrids. But once again, we go back to that. We're watching a show about monsters, and they do monstrous things. She had her reasons for doing it. I mean, trying to find out who her family is. Going to kill 12 people. That's a little crazy. But you know what? I'll let it slide because I like the character. Did the original episode make you like Haley more? Not really. Well, are we talking about the originals first episode of the originals or the Vampire Diaries episode called The Originals? Because if we're talking about the Vampire Diaries episode called The Originals, yes, that made me like her more. The originals episode 1 didn't really, but it was just kind of a retelling of the Vampire Diaries episode. I think that makes sense. I don't know. But, you know, yeah, she's done bad things. Even Damon like Elijah. Yeah. Because, you know, he's this honorable, noble. He is everything Klaus is not. He is put together. He is calm. He is collected. And to me, that makes him more terrifying than Klaus. Because, oh, no. I can't get into it yet. I gotta quit bringing up Elijah. You gotta quit bringing up Elijah. Not until we get to Elijah, because I'll get off on a tangent. Because Elijah's my boy. All right. Then yes, the first episode in the Vampire Diaries did make me like her character more. But honestly, I liked her character a pretty good bit from the get-go. I mean, even when I found out she was working with Professor Dude, I mean, she just seemed like this just werewolf country girl who's, I'm just kind of here doing my thing. Wasn't really interested in the politics of Mystic Falls and all the shenanigans. And she was a good character. But yeah, all right. But so Haley, where do we put you? You're not up there in Graham's level. You're gonna go with B tier. As much as I like you, you're not really A tier yet. All right. Marcel. Never has it been a character that I've seen so little of that I have instantly been like, that's going to be one of my characters right there, son. I love Marcel. I love his vibe. I love his city. I love his structure. I love everything about this character, Marcel. He was turned by the original family, by Klaus, I think. And apparently whenever they left New Orleans, he did not. And while they were gone, he took everything from Klaus. That's how Klaus sees it. Everything Klaus wanted. Family, control, power. Marcel has it all, and Klaus is so freaking jealous. But Marcel, yes, he has great presence. The actor, charismatic as can be. I want to see him go head to head with Klaus and the originals in his city. He's the king. Come here and fuck with the king, son. That's right. I'm the king. King Marcel. And like a king, Marcel, you go right up to A tier, son. I can't put you S tier because I've only seen you in 2 episodes and they were kind of the same episode. But I have a feeling in no time flat, we'll be riding up high in the top spot. But Marcel's great from what I've seen so far. I want to know more. I am invested in his character already. The way he runs the French Quarter, the way he controls the witches, he ran off the werewolves. He's got that's the original. I can't talk about that. I'll go ahead and talk about it. I don't care. He has someone or something that gives him the ability to know when the witches do their powers. It's a girl. Is she a witch? Is she an angel? Is she a demon? Is she something else? I don't know, but I'll find out soon. But yeah, love Marcel. You're the man. They are all easy on the eyes in this show. Yeah, that's everyone in Mystic Falls and New Orleans, the originals, everywhere. They're all good looking folks. But you know what? If you're making a TV show, why not get a bunch of good looking folks? Because nobody minds looking at good looking people. I don't mind. I'm sure it's good for the ratings. Okay. Whew. Our man Tyler, the hybrid. Tyler's one of those characters I kind of go back and forth on. I like Tyler. I like him a lot more than I did when I first started the show. A lot more. Yeah, don't be post no spoiler comments now. I mean, but yeah, Tyler is a character I didn't like, then I did like, then I really liked, and then I've kind of just got lukewarm with. And I think it's mainly because of how much I love Caroline and how he is making her sad all the time. And my girl Caroline deserves better than that. To be honest, Caroline should be with Klaus. I mean, he's a psycho. He might kill her in a jealous rage or something. I don't know. But yeah, they're pretty good together. But yeah, Tyler's a fine character. But yeah, I'm kind of, and it's also he hasn't been in a lot of season 4 because he's been running from Klaus. So yeah, I'm kind of I'm kind of warm on Tyler now. He'll go to B tier. It is hard not to like everyone in this show. I mean, for the most part, nobody likes April. April and Vicky. Those are my two bottom characters. And then we get to not Tyler, Matt. Matt, my man, the human, the only human left, out of the main cast, the only one. And what is he, dude? I like Matt. Matt has become one of my favorite characters, but I feel so bad for Matt. I mean, yeah, he got to spend a summer with Rebecca, and they had a little threesome, and they're hanging out and living their best life. But guess what? Right after it's over, he's back to work, fucking bussing tables. He has so many rich and powerful friends. This dude is still working a restaurant job, probably behind on his mortgage that he had to take over from his mom, who's a loser, probably eating ramen noodle cups like I did, or making biscuits with just water and flour, or eating bus table food, while everyone else is living this extravagant, wonderful, fantastic life. And he's just like, well, my vacation's over, and I'm gonna go bust some tables. I feel bad for Matt. Not only that, but all the guilt he has to feel over Elena and everything else. His sister, Elena, Matt. Yeah, he doesn't take the opportunities afforded to him. I get that. But I don't know. I was glad at the end of season 4 he decided to go with Rebecca to see the world. I just wish someone would spot this man some money or something. Well, he kind of went for it for a summer, but let's really be honest. Where is a relationship with Rebecca going to lead? Either him dying or being turned into a vampire. Because we know Klaus would be all about just snapping Matt's neck just to piss Rebecca off. Or Rebecca might really fall in love with him and not want to lose him and turn him. So, if you want to be a human, this is my best advice for you, Matt. You want to be a human. You don't want to be any of this supernatural shit. You need to move. Not tell anyone where you're going, and just move. Start a new, normal human life. That'll work for you. But Matt, dude, I can't even believe it. You're going A tier, dude. Because I really like Matt's character. Maybe it's because he's the only human left. And he's holding on to that humanity for dear life. Great man. Okay. Ooh, should have got me some coffee. Throat's a little rough feeling. I need something warm. That's true. It's never a good idea to get. Yeah. Don't get close to Rebecca with Klaus around. You are asking to die. All right, Alaric. Alaric's dead. But we saw his ghost in season 4. And that was nice. He drank with Damon. They had a few laughs. Alaric's kind of a good character, but you know what? I didn't like that he got turned into this. That goes with what I'm about to say here. If you notice, Alaric's color coordinated is that of the original. Because he's in their camp, right? Because he had the spell done that turned him into basically an original vampire power-wise. So, which I didn't like any of that. I didn't like him becoming the super vampire and the killer and the slayer and body getting used and all of that. I do love the Alaric and Damon friendship. FYI, I went to Covington, Georgia. I went to the Mystic Grill. I sat in that seat. I drank me some freaking Brothers Bond bourbon. All right. Been there, done that. My wife doesn't drink, so she didn't sit up there with me and drink. I should have went with someone who drank. If anyone's on here and you live within driving distance of Covington, Georgia. It's about a 5-hour drive from me. Let me know. We'll work something out. We'll do the tour. I'll pay for it. We'll have a good old time because I love the Vampire Diaries. Come on. I'll buy you a drink. I'll pay for your tour. You got to get your own room if you're going to spend the night. I ain't paying for that. But yeah, if you want to go, let me know. You can contact me through my email. It's in my About page on YouTube. Rock and roll, folks. We'll plan something. But love it. I love it. Okay. Alaric, you're great. You're great. I'm going to remember the Alaric that I liked, not the one that you became. Solid B tier. You're B tier, Alaric. I can't give you more than that. The tour is fun. I did the smallest version at the time because I wasn't that far into the show. I didn't want any spoilers, so it was great. They do have a tour that does both the Vampire Diaries and the originals. So I really want to finish everything so I can do the big tour. The big tour, eat at the Mystic Grill. I want to stay in the house. Well, it's the big house, the big white house with the pillars. I can't remember what they're using it for now, but they've used it in the show multiple times. That's now a bed and breakfast, I think, and you can rent a room there. I'd love to get a room there, go to the grill, go on the big tour to the Vampire Diaries and the originals. So good. 10-hour flight. Yeah, that's probably be a costly trip on your end and probably not worth it for me just paying for your ticket on the tour. But it's great. I do need to do the New Orleans tour. But yeah, I do want to do the big tour. The New Orleans tour I might do, I might not. I've been to New Orleans so many times that I don't know. I'm over New Orleans. I don't want to go back. I've been there probably 30 times over my life for extended periods of time here and there, and it's slowly become a city I just don't like that much anymore. And this is not just like a crime thing or anything. It's always had crime. That's part of going to New Orleans. There's some shady places. It's part of the fun, but it's become more of a touristy, like all of the little places I used to like, the mom and pops, the little off the wall places. It's slowly become all corporatized. So when I go, it just doesn't feel like New Orleans anymore. But that's probably any large tourist area becomes very corporate over time because people want to make money. And if you do XYZ, you make the most money. That's why everything starts to be the damn same. But yeah, so all right. New Orleans one. All right, it's cool. Yeah, I might do the New Orleans, I might not. We'll have to see. But all right, let's go on to our next character, Bonnie. Bonnie Bennett. The witch, super witch, the uber witch. Bonnie's dead. She's a ghost. You're a ghost now, Bonnie. I've never been too hot on Bonnie, honestly. She's had her moments here and there. One, she's OP. Holy shit, is there a more OP character in freaking the Vampire Diaries than Bonnie MF Bennett? I mean, she's a witch, though, and witches are OP, period. But, like, she's the most OP of all the witches I've seen on this show. And she constantly just makes the dumbest choices with no regard for how anything's going to really pan out. I mean, she's been told time and time again about magic and the cost and the price and nature and this and that. And she goes against it constantly. I will agree to that. M. I have a speech impediment, if y'all don't know. I control it pretty well most times, but sometimes it gets a little crazy. Yes, M, I agree with you. It is the writing. Her character is not written great. I think it is one of the, out of the main cast, some of the lesser of the writing. The actress is fine. She does a great job. She's charismatic, attractive. She's a good actress. She does well what is given to her, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So yeah, but you know what? You're better than C tier. You're solid B. I mean, you're not terrible. You're not terrible, Bonnie, but I never get excited when I'm going, ooh, it's a Bonnie episode. Like, I'm never like, ooh, it's a Bonnie episode. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's a Bonnie episode. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I wish they would have given her better stuff. Speaking of better, we got Jeremy. Jeremy. Went from annoying little brother to a spirit talker to a hunter. A dead hunter who was then brought back. He's fine. He's fine. I mean, yeah, it's Jeremy. His character's gotten better. He was cool as a hunter. He's jacked, I'll tell you that. He ain't never looked like a 15-year-old. But he has come a long way since season 1. The whining, drug-addicted, drug-selling little brother of Elena, who was annoying. He's come a long way. But are you B or C? Are you B or C? I don't know. You're hovering around C for me, dude. Because I was kind of happy when you died. I was ready for Jeremy to be gone. Yeah, Jeremy, you're going C tier, dude. I wish you wouldn't have came back to life. To me, that says C tier. You are right. He's not as bad as he once was. But I don't get excited when he comes on. I don't mean that in a sexual way. That sounded a little weird. Oh, God. Are we over an hour? We're over an hour, I can tell. I think I'm going to start to get crazy. All right. Rebecca. The second of my mermaid duo here. Rebecca, I feel so bad for Rebecca. So bad. She just wants a friend. She wants a family that loves her and doesn't manipulate her and abuse her and use her as a tool to accomplish whatever they want. She thought Elena might have been her friend, stabbed in the back. She's just such a sad character who just wants to live a life, and her family has just manipulated every aspect of her life. Everything she does, controlled. I'm glad she had a good time with Matt. Her and Matt had a good summer. No one died. They enjoyed themselves. She maybe got to feel like a real girl for once. Yeah, with a brother like Klaus, like she doesn't need any enemies. Like, they don't really go into it. But the way Klaus controls her and wants her to be with him and no one else, like there's a little bit of I don't know, man. That just something seems a little unhealthy there. And I'm not just talking about the way it is unhealthy, but there's a little I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm thinking, right? Some sort of, because have we seen his type? The one that comes to mind is Caroline. Put Caroline over here next to Rebecca here, I mean, they're both beautiful blondes. I think Klaus got some problems. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want to talk trash about my boy Klaus. But I'm saying there's some underlining tensions there that I find very uncomfortable. So yeah. We're just gonna leave that one there. But yeah, Klaus, we'll get to you next. Rebecca, you're great. I love Rebecca as a character. She's grown on me like so many other characters in this show. I want what's best for her. I feel almost like a father towards her in the way I feel towards her. I'm not like, ooh, Rebecca when I see her. I'm like, ooh, I'm not like that at all. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for her. I want to protect her. I want her to just have a happy life and find friends and family and love and just go live and be free. I feel like that when I look at Rebecca. So I got kind of a fatherly thing going for her. Maybe it's because she's just so sad. because of her shitty family. But Rebecca is solid A tier, dude. Solid A tier. I can't give her S tier, even though I love her. Because as of right now, she's more of a pawn for other people. She's not really become her own person yet, her own vampire who is controlling and powerful and I will do this because I want to do this and this is my choice. She's still under the foot of her brothers, and I want to see her get beyond that. But yeah, all right. So we're getting in. All right, we're in nitty gritty now. Let's do a few little comment reads real quick, and we'll get on to the big boys. Klaus is very controlling and jealous. Yep. Serious issues, 100%. Yeah, and he might just not want her to be happy because, he has those issues that she might leave him, never see him again, and but can you blame her for wanting to leave you, Klaus? You're a fucking psycho who keeps stabbing her. Keeping her in a box like a porcelain doll to look at. I mean, unhealthy, dude. Unhealthy. But yeah, and like I said, it's just all subtext that I'm talking about. I don't think anything's ever really happened. But I think if Klaus went to a shrink and they really started breaking down some of his emotional problems, one, she'd end up dying. He'd end up killing her. But I think they could really uncover a lot of just crazy shit in Klaus's mind. But you know what? His father, abusive, hybrid, vampire, werewolf. He's all jacked up. Speaking of jacked up, we are at Klaus. Klaus Michelson. What do you say about Klaus? Holy smokes. Broken, angry, emotional, sad, chaotic, neurotic, self-loathing, no self-worth, desire for love, desire for acceptance. I mean, he is the most broken of all the characters in this universe. No one is as broken as Klaus. And he acts out with the violent temper of a toddler. That's why he is so dangerous. You never know what'll set him off to the most violent things. Talented artist. Yes, a very good artist. Maybe if he focused more of his emotions into his art, there'd be less killing of people. Because the problem with Klaus is Klaus doesn't know who he is or what he really wants. And until you figure that out, you're never going to be happy. And I don't think Klaus knows who he is. Is he an artist? Is he a god? Is he a ruler? Is he a king? Is he a puppet? Is he a jester? Is he part of the family? Like, Klaus doesn't know who he is. He doesn't. He wants what he sees other people have. But none of it's what he really wants, I think. He looks at Marcel and he's jealous. He looks at Tyler and he's jealous. He looks at his brother and he's jealous because he looks at Rebecca. He's jealous because he is just a lost little boy. He's just a lost little boy. Klaus is a lost little boy who wants love from his daddy. At the end of the day, he's just a lost little boy who wants his daddy to hold his hand, tell him he loves him. And because that didn't happen, that little boy is encased by this monster of anger and rage and jealousy and vengeance and pettiness. He's so good. I love Klaus. He's a hot mess. He's the hottest mess of any character in any show I'm watching. And that's just the character in general. Then we get to the actor. Holy shit. Does he nail this character? Does he show emotion so well that he can be in a scene where he is the most heinous, evil thing you've ever seen. But the sadness in your eyes, the sadness in his eyes, makes you pity him. This monster that just killed people, innocent people, that has done horrible things. And you look in his sad eyes and you feel bad for him. What kind of an actor pulls that off? This Jeffrey, is it Jeffrey Morgan? Jeffrey Morgan, I think. That's the actor. So good. All right, let's see what we got here. He's a favorite character. How could he not be? So many layers, yeah. And without spoiling, don't spoil. Great character arc. I am hoping Klaus's character arc is he finds out who he is and what he really wants, and then fights for that. Quit fighting everything, because Klaus fights everything right now. He wants to control the world, everything in the world. He needs to focus on what he wants, what he truly wants, what he truly needs, and protect his world and control his world, not the world. You'll never win trying to control the world. Focus on your world. Advice for a 40-year-old dude in his garage in Florida. I don't think saying he has a character arc is a spoiler. I know he's going to have a character arc. That's what characters do, especially a character like Klaus. As long as you don't tell me what the arc is, we're good. We are good. Joseph was made for the role? Yes, he was. Yeah. So we are good there. So yeah, so Klaus, can't wait to see you in the originals. You've already been so good. You have a baby on the way. If it's yours, I'm still not 100% on that. I don't believe the witches. All right. We're going to take your ass down to the clinic. We're going to get a DNA test just to be sure. But, or get a witch we know and trust, which I don't know if Klaus has any left. He tends to kill all his witches as things go bad. But yeah, fantastic. Fantastic character. Hot mess of a character. So emotional. Is there anywhere to put him other than S tier? I don't think so. I think if I put Klaus anywhere but S tier, there'd be a riot in the streets. Because we all know he is the man. Yes, Klaus is S tier for you. He's for me. He's S tier for everyone. We love Mr. Klaus, even with his long hair in the flashbacks. But yeah, I would love to get a prop of a piece of artwork that was done by Klaus. I know it's not really done by Klaus, but just to have a original piece signed by Klaus, that'd be amazing. If any of those are out there, let me know. I don't have a lot of money, but I'll look into it. All right, and we get on to the last of the original vampires, the man, the myth, the legend, Elijah Michelson. I've already said if I could be a vampire, it would be Elijah. Cool, calm, collected, put together, powerful, intimidating, beautiful. He is the opposite of Klaus. He is a being of control, where Klaus is a being of emotion and chaos and destruction. Elijah is the opposite, the noble one. He is noble. He's a man of his word. I really thought he and human Elena would have been a great couple. They could have conquered the world, man. The two of them could have done anything. But we'll get back to Elijah here. Elijah's great. I want more of him. I've not seen enough of Elijah. And I'll go and spoiler this. I assume you've all seen the originals. First episode of the originals, we got Elijah. The show's called The Originals. I'm excited. We're getting so much Elijah in the episode. And at the very end, Klaus is talking to him and he's working his way around to him, And I get that vibe. Elijah, watch out. Knives him. Stakes my man Elijah. So how long till we see Elijah in the originals again? 1 episode? 5 episodes? A season? God damn it, Klaus. I'm so pissed off. It pissed me off so much. Oh my goodness. I'm so angry at Klaus. But yeah, Elijah is just top tier character for me. He is the vampire I want to be. The vampire I think, if there was ever a vampire who could conquer the world, it would be Elijah, not Klaus. That's fact. Yeah, I know you were laughing at me and then Klaus daggered him. Yeah, you sons of bitches. You sons of bitches. You knew it was coming. Oh, I was so happy. But yeah, Elijah, you're S tier. You would be higher than S tier if there was something higher than S tier. I can make my own tiers, so I could have put one higher. But you're the best of the best. Best of the best of the best of the best. Speaking of best of the best, Caroline motherfreaking Forbes. Has there ever been a character who took to being a vampire better than Caroline? I mean, she killed one person on accident. That's it. She learned to compel people by her damn self. She learned to control her hunger by herself. She never lost her shit. She didn't even change her personality. I mean, Caroline is the greatest vampire in the show. Fight me on it. I love Caroline. I don't like how Elena was beating her ass whenever she became a vamp, because Caroline's technically older. She should be just a little bit more powerful. Yeah, it's only a year. And I don't buy that, well, Alaric taught me to fight. He didn't teach you to fight that much. Y'all barely even practice. Come on, that's bullshit. Caroline, though, I'm biased because I find her absolutely beautiful, even with her bloody face in this picture. That's actually my favorite picture of Caroline. What does that say about me? I don't know. But she is absolutely amazing. Yes, vampirism was a blessing to Caroline. She can be young and beautiful and energetic and awesome forever. I would be her pet. I would be whatever Caroline wanted me to be. Well, if I was single, didn't have a family. Let me just say that. If Caroline showed up now, I wouldn't be anything she wanted me to be. Sorry, Caroline, I got shit going on. But go back in time. I'm in my early 20s. I'd be her pet. I'd be whatever she wanted me to be. Caroline, you're a goddess. You're a pointy-toothed, blood-drinking, beautiful goddess. I love you so much. You're S tier. I like you with Klaus too. I think you can control him. You're the only one who puts him in his place. And he loves you so much. He wants you to come to New Orleans. Maybe Caroline will. All right. I'm asking for a spoiler, folks. I am asking for a spoiler. The most minor of spoilers. Does Caroline ever show up on the originals? That's all I want to know. I want to know that. For my heart. Tell me, please. Tell me, please. I love it. Caroline and Elijah, epic. Caroline and Elijah, that would be a power couple, but I never felt chemistry between Caroline and Elijah. Honestly, I think Caroline is a little too much is a little too free-spirited for someone like Elijah. Elijah is so rigid. What I like about him, he's crazy. Maybe you have to watch and find out. Oh, you sons of bitches. I'm taking that as a yes. I'm taking it as a yes. I'm excited. But yeah, Caroline, I love you. I love you. You and Elijah, my two favorite characters. We're going to move y'all to the front here. My two absolute favorites. My two absolute favorites. Why? Why do you ask him? Because I wanted to know. You didn't. She didn't flat out tell me. She did a little wink. I'll take the wink. I'll take the wink. I want to know. That's a minor spoiler. It's fine. I don't know when she'll show up. I don't know for what purpose or for how long. But I need to know it's going to come. I need to know. For my heart. For my heart. Yes, 100% Caroline Klaus over Caroline and Elijah. Even though Caroline and Elijah, like I said, are my two favorite characters. Then we go down to Rebecca. Rebecca. Who's now human. But I don't even know what's going to happen there. But I like Rebecca. I like Rebecca better than Elena. Oh, come here, buddy. Quit biting. All he does is bite. How do you get a kitten to stop biting? He just wants to play, but he's so rough. He's not this rough with my daughter. Just me. Like he knows I'm the daddy. He can play rough with me. Oh, it's great. It's great. So yeah, Rebecca, survivor, just doing what she can do to live, playing everybody, playing the game. No one knows the game as good as Rebecca. Now that she's human, I don't know what's going to happen, but I love her character. I love her. When she shows up, I know it's going to be fun. This cat is killing me. Come on, Cosmo, quit, dude, quit. Just look, just hang out with me. Just hang. All right, we're putting you up. Oh, no, quit, you little bastard. Oh my goodness, he's such a little pain in the butt right now. Oh, did I say Rebecca? I did. I'm so bad with names. So bad with names. Catherine is better than Elena. Better than Elena by a lot. By a lot. Now that she's human, I don't know. But yeah, love her. Katerina, yes. But she's S tier, dude. She's S tier. Her survival instinct makes her S tier. Her ability to manipulate everyone, no matter how powerful. She can manipulate originals, witches, vampires, werewolves, humans. She knows how to play the game better than anyone else. Putting the fake cure in a vat of vervain water in a fish tank, brilliant. Love her. Love everything about her. She's great. Let's go to her lesser doppelganger. Would have been nice to have seen more of her time. Yes, I would love to have seen flashback episodes of Catherine running from Klaus, like just following her on her little missions and her journey to get to where she is now. That would have been great. But we have Elena now. Elena Gilbert tried to go so bad by turning off her emotions, but she didn't really turn them off. She just got rid of all the good ones and became a bitch. She became a bitch. You don't have to turn off your emotions and be a bitch. Just because you have no emotions, I'm not a very emotional person. I've gotten better as I've gotten older, but for the majority of my life, all the emotions I had were negative. I was a very angry person for a long time, but I was never such an asshole as Elena was. Trying to kill her friends, hurting her friends, saying the meanest shit, taking Caroline's prom dress. Like, uncalled for, Elena Gilbert. Yes, Nina, amazing actress. The way she can go between characters, fantastic. She pulls them off so well. And she can even pull off playing a character pretending to be another character. Like, there's certain times when you'll see Elena and you'll get this one scene where she does a look and you're like, that's fucking Catherine. Amazing actress. Amazing actress. Also follow her on Instagram. She posts some great pictures. She's living the life, having a great time. Good for you. Good for you, girl. But yeah, you are a good character, but I'm sorry, you're not S tier. You're solid A. Solid A, Elena. That's the best I can do for you. And that's probably being just a tad generous. Yeah. All right, we're down to the final two. Play Catherine, playing Elena, playing Catherine. Yeah, it's the best. Catherine playing Elena. Catherine is so good. Yeah, I remember that. That was amazing. It was like Inception. Like, what? Give me those earrings. Give me the boots. Give me the jacket. All right. The final two. Missed a phone call. Who called? No one calls me anymore. Isn't it weird? Something like, I don't know if I'm the only one like that, but if you ever get a phone call on your cell, you're like, who in the hell's calling me? No one calls me. Like, I don't even need a phone that rings. You're calling it now, huh? Stefan A and Damon S. Coffee for you. Oh, I can always use. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee when I finish this before I start filming my videos for Patreon. But yeah, so we're down to the final two. Stefan Salvatore. He's back, attacking my hand. Might as well bring him up here and try to quit it. Oh. Turd. All right, so Stefan Salvatore. Stefan has grown on me a lot since season 1, season 2, season 3. Season 4, Stefan has been pretty awesome. He's been pretty freaking quit biting me. Oh my God. Now he's attacking my foot. I can't handle kittens. All right, let's focus. I'm kicking a cat off my leg. All right. Stefan Salvatore grew on me a lot. He has come into his own. He's no longer this super goody two shoes whining about things he's done. He's kind of accepted more of who he is. He's got more control over himself. He has more knowledge of himself and who he is and what he wants. He's a great character. He's a great character. I like Stefan Salvatore a lot. Now, him being Silas and a doppelganger and all that, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Stefan without his humanity was great. It was great. He was a great character. I loved him. I think that was him at his best. But I do think the more integrated version is also very, very good. He has his humanity on, but he's integrated a lot of the darkness, a lot of the shadow. And that's how you really become who you are. You got to integrate the dark and the light. But he has made it to S tier. Stefan Salvatore. You're S tier, baby. My hair's bothering me. Hold on. You're S tier, baby. Stefan made it to S tier. Because he's good. And you know what? He talks to Klaus the way he wants to. He handles business. He's willing to let Elena be with his brother without being a total bitch about it, which is cool. I mean, I like Stefan. I do. I like him so much more than I ever thought I would. And it's really because, once again, he's no longer that overly whining, emotional, woe is me, vampire life, boo-hoo. Like, he feels like he's coming to his own as a character, as an integrated character who knows what he is, what he can be. He's good. Christ. All right. That leaves us with our last. Not letting. Yes, the blood does not define him anymore. He drinks human blood now. He controls his hunger, his thirst. And even though it's always there, the potential for him to go dark side, I think him accepting what he is has really helped. He's attacking my feet. I'm sorry. You gotta quit. You gotta quit. I'm doing a live right now, you little bastard. Quit. Please. Please quit. Oh my God. I'm just so embarrassing. All right. So let's get on to the last brother, because this cat's going to be the death of me. Damon, mother freaking Salvatore. he is the absolute best character on the show. He is cool. He is calm. He is collected. He is violent. He is willing to do whatever it takes for the people he loves, whether it's something they want done or not. He never would have let Elena drown, which has led to so much BS in this show because Stefan didn't do what had to be done, which was save Elena. This is my daughter's cat that is nice with her and nice with my wife, but when he's with me, he becomes an absolute psychopath. I should have named him Klaus, honestly. Should have named this little bastard Klaus, because when he's with me, he becomes an absolute nightmare because he thinks, I guess, I'm the daddy that he can play rough with. Driving me crazy. So, all right. Yes, Cosmo to Klaus, you're right. I don't know if you said that before I did, but it is 100% true. All right. Hey, quit. 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 Oh my God. All right, let's just hold him like this, and I'll let him bite my arm for a little bit. All right, so we have Damon Salvatore. He is my favorite. He is the best. He's cool. He's collected. He is not who I would want to be as a vampire, but I want him to be my best friend as a vampire. I want to see a show with him in the 70s, hanging out in New York. He could run into Spike from Buffy. They could hang out together. It could be a hell of a show. Maybe a comic, maybe something. But yeah, well, I don't know how slow it is. It's just set up on the standard setting. But yeah, I don't know. But yes, he should be named Klaus. He's a little bastard. But yeah, Damon is awesome. Damon is awesome. I want to be his best friend. I would be Alaric. I get why Alaric hung out with him, drunk with him, was friends with him, because he's someone who would go to the ends of the earth for their friend. That's the kind of friends you want, friends that'll go to the end with you. And that's who Damon is. He will go to the end. Hey, look in the camera and say, I'm sorry for being psycho. No? No? You'll still try to bite me, aren't you? Bastard. All right. Damon, I mean, obviously, we all know he's S tier. Yes, he owns who he is. He knows who he is. He accepts who and what he is, even though he never wanted to be this. He never wanted to be a vampire. Never wanted to be a creature of the night. He was ready to die. And he spent so much of his unlife trying to free the woman he thought he loved and loved him. And it was all fake. You know what? He took it like a champ. Took it like a champ when he realized Rebecca was playing him for a fool. And he's a great character. The best. So yeah, that is my ranking. So there it is. There's my tier list. What do you think? Any complaints? Anything you'd have done differently? What do you think? I'm going to leave chat. We're going to stay on for about another 15 minutes. Take any questions, any comments, just throw it throw it at me. See if I can. Oh, I don't know what I did there. That's not something I want to do. I don't even know what that is. So let's get back here. We're having trouble here, folks. There we go. So yeah, so that's my list. Let me know what you think. I was trying to make the chat be a little quicker, but apparently it's going slow. He doesn't give up his friendships easily. Damon is your favorite. How could he not be? He's awesome. But he has nothing on Elijah or Klaus, in my opinion. You're a hardcore TO. I get it. Once again, he's up there in the top tier with everyone else. So Elijah, Klaus, Damon, Stefan, Catherine, and Caroline. That is a pretty solid list right there. The craziness in me makes me want to do boy, girl, boy. No, can't do it that way. So let's do there. No, hold on. I'm gonna move you by Klaus because move you there. There we go. There we go. That's a little better up top. Makes it looks better in my eyes. Yeah, so there we go. Love my ranking though. You're a little well. Of course, our rankings aren't going to be perfect. That's fine. Thought Tyler was a C character. He has grown on me quite a bit. So I'm not going to give him C. Rank my S tier. All right. You want to rank my S tier? Well, obviously, we'll go Damon. Oh, this is hard. It's hard to rank my S tier. Come on. Goodbye. My heart's with Caroline. And honestly, all right, folks, I might get some hate. Let's find out. Elijah's number one, and I don't even know him that well, but that's who I want to be. That's who I want to be. I want to be him. I want to be Elijah. And then we'll go Damon. Then we'll go Caroline. Then we'll go Klaus. Then we'll go Stefan and Rebecca. There we go. There we go. There's my S tier ranked listing. Elijah, Damon, Caroline, Klaus, Stefan, Rebecca. I think that's a pretty fair ranking for my taste. Yeah, the cat does apologize for nothing because cats are little shits. And he doesn't bite me and draw blood or anything. Like, he's not trying to hurt me. He's just. Because all my daughter does is just hold him and they just cuddle and they lay together and cuddle when she watches TV most of the time. And he's really good with her about that. But when he's with me, it's like all his frustration and all of his energy has to be let out. All right. So Mr. or Mrs. M, I don't know which, wants me to rank all my tiers. So let's do it. Who will make it? All right. So I'm not sure what Legacies is, so I can't say on that. I'm just going to go with who I think will make it to the end of the Vampire Diaries because I'm just started the original, so I don't know really. I don't have anything to really put on that. But if I had to go from the Vampire Diaries on who would make it out, who would survive the show? That's a hard one. I'm going to do A tier. Give me just a minute also. I'm going to say Elena survives. Matt survives. And either Stefan or Damon, but not both. That's going to be my prediction. Elena, Matt, one of the Salvatore brothers. I'm not sure which one. Elijah, Klaus, Rebecca. Yeah. I have a feeling good old Marcel's going to be moving up to S tier once I see him a little bit more. All right, let's go A tier. Go Rebecca. No, we'll go Grams. I just love seeing Grams. So Grams, Rebecca, Matt, Elena, Marcel. Though I do think, like I said, I think Marcel is destined for S tier. So, yes, we can review my predictions whenever. But yes, so Elena, Matt, one of the Salvatore brothers. I'm not sure which one. All right, let's go to B tier. We're going to list B tier here. We'll go Alaric. Alaric, Liz, Papa Michaels. No, we'll go Bonnie. Papa Michelson. Oh, no, we'll do Haley before Papa Michelson. Up to. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there's my B tier. Seems about right. C tier. We'll move Matt up to the top of C tier. All right, there you go. There's my tier. There's my tier ranking within my ranking. So we got. And boom, 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 boom. There we go. All set up. What do you think? Any questions, comments, thoughts? Advice on cats. Shows I should be watching that I might not be. I'm here for about another 10 minutes. So poor Finn. Yeah, fuck Finn, dude. Mama's boy. Over him. He was not a very likable character. Yeah. And like I said, I'm confident good old Marcel is going to be popping up in no time. Yep. I see that about Marcel. It's just I've only seen him in 2 episodes that were kind of the same. So for only seeing him for probably 15 minutes screen time, he's already made it to A tier. There's no way he's not going to S. Finn was pretty close to D tier. But he doesn't just make me hate him by looking at him as much as April does. April was just such a pointless character. Finn at least served a purpose. He was an original. He loved his mother. He was willing to sacrifice himself to kill all of the original vampires. He had purpose. April, as far as I can tell so far, has had no purpose in the show. Like, why was she even there? I get it. She's the daughter of the preacher dude and something, but none of it led anywhere. None of it mattered. At least Finn had purpose. Mac Taylor, I have seen season 1 of True Blood and only season 1. I liked season 1. I just never got around to keeping up with the show. The concept was great. It had the girl that played Rogue and she did nudity in the show, which let me tell you, that's a perk. That's a perk. I always found Rogue super attractive. I'm going all creeper mode. I'm sorry. But yeah, I have seen season 1 of True Blood. It's one of those shows I need to pick back up. If I did decide to watch it again, I would start with season 1 because honestly, other than it having the girl that played Rogue in it doing nudity, and there was a drink over the counter you could buy called True Blood, I don't really remember much about the show. So, Klaus or Eric Northman? Nor Eric Northman. He's the tall Scandinavian dude who was in the Northman, right? In True Blood, he was. I think that's Eric Northman. I'm going to say Klaus, but once again, it's mainly because I don't really remember much about True Blood, so I can't truly think of that character other than the picture, and I'm picturing blonde hair, combed back, in a suit with no tie. Maybe that's where my mind goes when I think of that character. True Blood was fun, I bet. Sage. Which one was Sage? I don't know who Sage is off the top of my head. Oh, Sage was Finn's lady. Yeah, she'd have been like D or C tier, probably D tier. I don't really remember her. All right, so Sherlock, I have done season 1 and season 2. I will probably do season 3, but I've had a few people tell me season 3 wasn't very good and I should just quit after season 2. So let me ask you that. Should I watch Sherlock season 3? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. Is it worth watching, or should I just leave off with season 2? Yep, I remember Sage a little bit now, but she'd have been probably D tier maybe. All right, Sherlock season 3 is awesome. Okay. All right, so Sherlock season 3 is added to the list. I will eventually get to it. I'll work in an episode here and there where I can. Oh, look at this hair. What a mess. I look like an damn Jedi or some shit. This is not a fashion statement, just so you know. This is just quickly putting my hair up and not realizing I got a weird strand of hair going. I don't think I've reacted to Sherlock season 3, episode 1. I don't think. The last thing I remember was Moriarty dying on the rooftop. I don't know. I will have to check. I've seen so many things, it all kind of gets blurred together sometimes. Maybe I did and I don't remember. I have not watched the Bodyguard comedy skit yet. I did add it to my watch later list. It is on my list. I just haven't had the time, and honestly, I forgot about it until you just brought it back up. But I did add it to my watch later, so I will try to check that out soon. I don't know when my top tiers will be open again. They kind of don't get open. Like people that buy them rarely leave because they like having me watch whatever they want. But if you want to message me on Twitter, send me a message. I might open up a tier just for you if you really want, as a sign of goodwill towards one of my favorite patrons. So just reach out and we'll figure it out. Duality of Man. Yes. Whenever True Blood was first coming on, they did these little promos. And my thought when I watched that was this is a ripoff of the World of Darkness. Vampire the Masquerade RPG World of Darkness. And I remember when I watched season 1, all I can remember is thinking this is what a World of Darkness show would be like. So yes, I agree with that on the limited memory I have of that show. Which characters irritated me the most since season 1? I'm gonna go with the main characters. Like which one of like, or the somewhat main, not like the one-off characters. If there's one character that has annoyed me the most, it'd probably be Matt. No, not Matt. What the fuck am I saying? Matt. I apologize, Matt. I apologize, Matt. I apologize. Jeremy. Jeremy is the name I meant to say. Jeremy. For a character who has been with us since season 1, who's kind of a main character, who's there a lot, Jeremy has annoyed me more than most. That's why he's probably C tier. I was happy when he died. I was sad when he came back. Vicky is a given. Vicky's a given. Vicky isn't even on the list because she's a given. She's a given. So yeah, we're gonna go with Jeremy, which Jeremy's tied to Vicky, so it makes sense. Makes sense that I don't like Jeremy that much. And it's mainly because he's had some character growth. The most I liked Jeremy was when he was with her name Annabelle, the vampire turned ghost. Was it Annabelle? I think it was Annabelle. But the most I liked him was when he was with her, whether she was a vampire or a ghost. I thought she brought out some of the best in him, and that was peak Jeremy. And from that point on, he just kind of went downhill. He made dumb choices, dumb decisions, and just wasn't a character I was too interested in. Him being a hunter was kind of cool, but at the end of the day, I just didn't care. And I think if maybe they made Matt the hunter, which I don't want them to do. I love him just being a regular human, but I think I'd have been more interested if Matt went on that journey than Jeremy. I'm going with Jeremy. Yes, Anna. I loved Anna. Anna was great. Anna is one of those characters I wish we'd have got more of. Her and her mom, Pearl. So sad for those two. Two vampires that just wanted to live their lives. Get out of fucking Mystic Falls is what they should have done. Because they wanted to just live their lives. Both wound up dead. It's a damn shame. Jenna or Alaric? It would be Alaric. And I say this because if I brought back Jenna, she'd be a vampire. And I don't think Jenna as a vampire, I'd be interested in. Now, if I could bring back Jenna as a human, I'd bring back Jenna. But if I had to bring them back from where they died, it would be Alaric. Because Alaric was a good character. I love his friendship with Damon. I think they played off each other very, very well. And I think Alaric would be fine at adapting to and being a vampire who was also a hunter and all of that jazz. So Alaric, if they come back as they were, Jenna, if she could come back as just a regular human and pick up her life. Good question. Give me more of those questions. I'll stay on as long as I got good questions coming in. John Gilbert. John Gilbert sucked. So John Gilbert was a bad dude, but I didn't view him as a villain because once again, he's done some bad things. But in the end, he gave his life for his daughter, and he did bad things, but tons of characters have done way worse in the show without even half of a redemption that John Gilbert had. So I'll give it to him. Prediction for this season 5? I don't know. This Uh, Silas, dude, he's a wild card. He's a wild card. I've recently seen he can control a vast crowd of people. He's looking he's looking for Catherine because her blood probably has the makings of the next cure. Silas is a wild card, and I don't know where we're gonna go with that. So yeah, so I honestly, as of right now, I have no idea where we're going season 5. Silas is a wild card. I don't know what he's gonna do. Isabel. Who is Isabel again? Once again, terrible with names. Was she the one who got bit by a werewolf and died? The one that, yeah. Is that Isabel? Maybe. Caroline's dead as a vampire? No, I wouldn't want to see that. No, just because he was so anti-vampire that I think he'd have killed himself if he became a vampire. He'd have walked into the sun. Oh, Elena's biological mother, Isabel. No, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. I'm glad she's dead. She was mean. She was mean. Wanted to use her daughter. Daughter just wanted to find her and love her. No. And what she did to Alaric, no, I'm glad that bitch met the sun. I don't think she was a villain no more than anyone else. But yeah, screw her, Isabel. Ah, yeah. I got a little worked up on Isabel. No, I did not like her at all. Yeah, Rose was the one I was thinking of. I would like to see more of Rose, who never got to live her life either. I mean, she was undead for a long time, but she spent the whole time running from Klaus. You can't enjoy yourself and live life if you're running from freaking Klaus. Like, she died never experiencing any happiness except for that brief moment in her mind given to her by Damon. Very sad. Very sad. All right, the originals. I want to see flashbacks. I want to see a ton of flashbacks. I love flashbacks. It gives me the Highlander feel. We go back in time and we see them in the past and what they did. I want all of that. I want to see it all. I don't care who's in it. I just want to see that. People that are going to show back up, I don't even know, to be honest. I mean, Papa Michelson would be awesome to see because he's so evil. The only true villain I feel in the show, who has no redeeming qualities I've seen at all. I'd love to see him pop back in here. Other than that, that's really the only one I can think of right now. As characters who pop up, I hope Caroline shows up. I wouldn't mind Damon popping into New Orleans. Maybe him and the Michelson boys go for a little party on the town. That'd be fun. Yes, Isabel was compelled by Klaus. That's why she killed herself. But I don't know. She just seemed like a very selfish person. Selfish for what she did to her husband, what she did to her daughter. How much of that was compulsion, how much wasn't, I don't know. But I just didn't like her character at all. She seemed like a less charismatic version of Catherine. And I think Catherine, I can forgive a lot of what she does because she's so likable. Where I think Isabel had all of that kind of evil that Catherine had without any of the charisma. Yes, Elena was better off with her foster parents. Her foster parents seemed like awesome parents. I mean, they were obviously loaded too. I mean, he was a doctor. They got that house that they burnt down. They got the lake house. And I'm not saying money means you had a good upbringing or childhood, because it doesn't. I mean, there's all kind of things that could happen. But money doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, money is not the key to happiness, but neither is being poor. And you can buy a lot of momentary happiness with enough money. Yeah, like, no, money doesn't make you happy, but it doesn't hurt. it doesn't hurt. And I'm sure growing up, she never wanted for anything. She had good parents, never wanted for anything. They were able to die and she didn't have to go live in an orphanage or live in a trailer or live off $177 from the government every month. That's personal stuff when you're an orphan. But yeah, so it's crazy. Yeah. I am curious about the Petrova family line, but more of the history of it, not modern. So Elena and Elena's mom, like they're part of that line. I get it, but I'd rather go back, not forward or modern. Go back to the first Petrova and see her and maybe the first time the doppelganger popped back up. Oh, the first doppelganger has been born, and I would like to have seen that. Worst parent. Matt's mom, hands down. Come on. She was making out with his friend. She's a drunkard. He had to take care of her. A parent who is a burden on their child is not a good thing. It's different when they're older. I get that part. That's part of the reciprocal nature of parent child. You take care of the child. Then when you get really, really old and bad out, they can help take care of you. But to put that burden on your young child is not right. Is not right. Especially when it's from dumb choices and actions. Matt, as a teenager, and probably before he was a teenager, was taking care of his shitty mama. And that's not right to put that burden on a young child. Matt's mom's the worst. The worst. Hands down. Would not mind seeing her die in the show. She's that bad. Caroline's dad was not that bad of a parent. I don't think. Yes, he tortured her a little bit, but he was trying to help her. And I get that was probably a metaphor for like early conversion therapy and all that. Like I get it might have been kind of a reflection on trying to torture someone to be someone they're not. I get that. But in the reality of the Vampire Diaries, in the reality of that show, he is merely a father trying to keep his vampire daughter from having a uncontrollable lust for blood. And he did it. But you know what? He realized what he did was wrong. Now it took him getting punched in the face and Caroline getting taken. But once he kind of realized it and was given time, he became more of a caring father. But I don't think he was necessarily a bad parent. John Gilbert was kind of trash. So was Isabel. Tyler's dad, he wasn't that bad, I didn't think. But honestly, I don't remember much about him and his son. Like, I don't think they had much interaction as far as I can remember. I remember when shit hit the fan at the town square where Tyler's father died. Didn't he give Tyler the keys to his car and said, "Get out of here, get out of here"? So in the end, when he knew shit was going wrong, he didn't save himself. He saved his kid. I'll give him credit for that. And of course, the Michelson, Papa Michelson, is right up there with Matt's mom. They're about equally trash. Bonnie's mom was kind of trash too. We didn't see much of her, but her just leaving and never coming back, that's a trash move too. But you know what? No. Bonnie was better off. Her trash mom wasn't in her life. She was raised by Grams. Grams did a good job. And her dad seems really, really nice. Shame what happened to him in season 5. Yep. Elijah and Klaus both fell in love with one of the doppelgangers. Yes, yes, yes. And it was her blood used in the spell that made them vampires, which is why her blood, the doppelganger blood, can help with hybrids. Some weird shit like that. The Salvatore daddy was kind of a piece of shit. He did shoot his own children. Uh that's kind of bad. But yeah. Yes, he did want Jeremy and Tyler to fight. Tyler's father seemed to me like one of those kind of alpha, like sports dads. Pushes his kid into sports and yells on the sidelines and getting in a fight with the coach. And that's a bad parent. That is a bad parent. But that's not on the same level as Matt's mom or Papa Michelson. Like those are next level. So but yeah, he was not a good parent, no. I mean, really, there haven't been too many good parents on this show, period. I think Jenna was probably the best parent, and she wasn't even a parent. Because Caroline's mom was not very good until recently. I mean, she first off wanted to kill her daughter, so it took her time. But like Jenna was always a pretty solid good parent. Now, how is Klaus going to be as a parent? Who the freak knows? He's going to be psycho. You think he's protective and controlling now? Wait till he has a little girl. Yes. The Vampire Diaries universe has a lot of bad parents. That is 100%. All right. Do we have any more questions, comments? Keep them coming. Give it a few minutes. If nothing comes in, we'll call it a day, but I am open to answer or talk about anything else. Yes, Jenna took it fairly fast. But I think a lot of people, if you bring them into it not abruptly, it's a little easier to take than you find out about it when, your vampire daughter comes crashing to the window or see blood all over her face and she just ate somebody. It kind of starts you off on the wrong foot. Yeah, the dynamic is going to be crazy with Klaus and a kid. If it's even his kid. If they even have the kid, it might like rip out of Haley's belly and become a monster. I don't know. That'd be a dark turn, wouldn't it? Like she has the kid, but it's this evil creature that wants to eat the world. That'd be kind of great. Haley, I think, would be a good parent. She just seems like good. She has a good heart. She's done some bad things, but you can tell Haley has a good heart. Yeah. The bloody face Caroline, which is what I use in my picture because I love it. Like, that's how Caroline's mom learned her daughter was a vampire, right? Like, full on, vamped out craziness. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. I loved it. Yeah, so good. I think I'll be watching Chuck when I finish this live stream. Get me some coffee. Chuck season 3, episode 5, I think. She does have a good heart, yeah. I mean, she helped kill 12 hybrids, but she did it for the right reasons. That's not true, but it's great. I love it. Yeah, she has a good heart, and I think she'll help balance out Klaus, maybe. But I already think her and Elijah are gonna. All right, predictions for the originals. Haley and Elijah decide to elope, and they run off with the baby because they realize it would be better if the child was raised by them and Klaus was left out of the picture. Calling it now. Oh, come on, Salvatore or the Michelsons? Can't ask me that. Look at this. I got 2 Michelsons and 2 Salvatores up here. I love them both. I will come back to that when I finish the originals and the Vampire Diaries. I have to see the full telling of their stories before I can make that call. I am excited about the end of White Collar, but I am more sad than excited. I dread it. I dread being done with White Collar, never going back to Neil Caffrey. I mean, I might watch some like clips here and there maybe later just to watch whenever I just feel that need, but it's not the same as going into an episode not knowing what's going to happen with characters you've been with for, I mean, I've been with White Collar for years now, and it's coming to an end, and it's sad. This is the same sadness I felt when I finished Person of Interest. You know, like there's a sadness for us reactors when we finish a show, because it does become part of our lives, and we become part of a community. And when you finish a show, like, you tend to lose people too, and it's not really even a monetary thing that I mind, because you always lose and pick people up. But there's certain people I had on Patreon that were just there for Person of Interest. We would talk, we'd have conversation and talk about characters. And when you finish a show as a reactor, you do lose some of the connections you've made with people, because the only thing that bound you and this other person was a show. And if there's no other show that you're bound with that person with, when it's done, it's done. And you bid each other a farewell. I think we all said our goodbyes, like, hey, it was nice going on this journey with you. And then it's over. And there is a sadness to that. And I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to the ending of White Collar. I'm not looking forward to the end of certain connections and conversations tied to White Collar. It is just a sad time in a reactor's life when a show comes to an end. Yeah, kind of got deep there. Yes, when I finish DVD and TO, I will come back to which one's my favorite. Klaus would chase him to the end of the world. Yes, Klaus would. Klaus would. That's why they'd have to kill Klaus. All right. I'm changing my TV, no, not my TVD, my originals, my originals prediction. They're gonna disable Klaus, whether it's locking him in a magical tomb, dropping him to the bottom of the ocean, or put some magic on him. They're going to disable Klaus, and then Haley and Elijah will run off and raise the baby. There we go. Let's see. Which sibling do I think is Klaus's favorite? Rebecca, because he can control her more than Elijah. That's why. Because Rebecca, he has more control over. He likes her, and Elijah probably the same, but he can control Rebecca, so he prefers her. The other brothers, I don't think he gives two shits about, because they're barely in the show. But yeah, Rebecca, I think, is his favorite sibling. Uncle Mason. Was that the werewolf? Was Uncle Mason the werewolf? I don't think he was the uncle of Damon and Stefan. I think that was the werewolf. Let me know, and then I will answer. It was an emotional and deep answer. Yes, it kind of got deep there. I should write TO fanfics. Maybe I should. Because they would definitely run off into the sunset after locking Klaus up in a magical sarcophagus. Because you can't kill Klaus. Because you want to be able to bring him back into the story if you need him. Like maybe when the baby grows up and wants to know its real father, and it goes out and it looks for Klaus. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? I don't know. If it's a boy, Klaus could turn him into a great hunter and monster. If it's a girl, Klaus could do the same. Or Klaus would I don't know what Klaus would do. I don't know. Klaus is a wild card, man. Tyler's uncle. Yes, that's what I thought Mason was. He was tortured by Damon and all that. I think Mason served his purpose. I think he could have maybe went on a little bit longer, but for the most part, he was just there to introduce us to the whole werewolf thing, get Tyler brought in, let us know the rules, and it was fine whenever he got killed. It was fine. He probably could have lasted a few more episodes, but I definitely would have been I don't think he'd have made it out of the season he was in. What was that, season 2? I think that was season 2 where he died. I think he would have died in season 2 no matter what, and whether it was sooner or later, he served his purpose. Yes, that friend Jules, the vampire who, yeah, I remember Jules. She was going to be sacrificed, but she got killed first, so yeah, it was a shame. Or no, they were going to sacrifice Tyler, but then they sacrificed Jules, I think. I think Klaus would be crazy with a daughter. Like, next level psycho protective helicopter parent. I think Klaus would be, and I'm going to tell you this. I think Klaus, if he had a son, would be as brutal to his son as Michael was to Klaus. 100% Klaus, if Klaus has a son, if I'm saying a lot of ifs here, if the baby is Klaus's and Klaus has a son, he will be as brutal to that son as Michael was to him. If Klaus has a daughter, he will be as protective, more so towards that daughter as he is to Rebecca now. I'm talking helicopter parent, next level, crazy. Yes, I do think he would, and I just talked about that. I don't know how the text and my talking is synced up, but yeah, Klaus would treat his son the way Michael treated him. Abusive, violent, craziness. Klaus would raise his son to Klaus's son would hate Klaus as much as Klaus hates Michael. So I think that's how he would raise his son. But if he has a little girl, it's gonna be a whole different issue with the little girl because Daddy won't let her do nothing by herself. He will be so protective. Yeah, I don't know why the chat is so slow. I'm sure there's a setting I can change, but a little too late now. But I will work on that before my next live. Once again, I don't do lives very often. I'm kind of an amateur at it. But yes, that is exactly it. That is exactly it, M. It's these cycles of abuse that perpetuate, and it's hard to break out of them. I was born into one. I won't go into any of that because it ain't no one's business, and it ain't that kind of channel. But I was born into something like that, as were a lot of my friends, and very few of us have broken the cycle that we were born into. Most of my friends are in the same cycle that they were born into. Only a small few of people I personally know. So I'm just speaking on personal experience. Internet, do not get crazy. But most people cannot break out of the cycles they are born into, whether it's drug abuse, alcohol abuse, poverty, physical abuse, mental abuse. It perpetuates. You're born into something. You cannot get out of the gravitational pull of your life experience. It's hard to get out of that pool, but it is possible. I am living proof of that. You can get out of what you were born into, but it's not easy. It takes work, and it takes the most important part of it, which is the hardest part. You have to recognize the problem. That's the hardest part for most people. But yeah, getting kind of crazy here. Yeah, I don't know what the lack is, but yeah, we're good. Oh, I think Elijah will be the most. Okay, I cannot talk. Elijah will be the cool uncle personified. The cool uncle personified. He will be the man who will try to help his niece or nephew in any way he could, and would be so cool and so understanding and so willing to do whatever it took to give that child the life they never had. That's what I think. I love talking Vampire Diaries. I just love talking, period. But I honestly think my YouTube and Patreon reaction would actually be better if I had like a partner because I'm such a conversationalist. Like when I'm by myself, I don't think I get into nearly the type of conversations and thoughts watching something that I would get if I was with someone else, just going back and forth and working things out. But, you know, who has time for that? All right. Any other questions, comments? Keep them going. What would I want to be? Uh, I'm going to say a warlock because w- witches and warlocks are OP as hell. And if it came down to it, you could always become a vamp. So it would be a warlock. My second would be vampire. I don't want to be a werewolf. I don't want to be a hybrid. Uh, well, hybrid wouldn't be that bad, but no. So I'd go warlock, second vampire. And if my warlock thing didn't work out, I can always just become a vampire. So warlock for sure, because witches are OP. You're still human. You can still do all kind of things. You're not really held back by a lot of the burdens. You can make yourself one of those potions or elixirs of immortality. I'm sure you could figure it out. Yeah, so warlock, 100%. I think Klaus would be jealous of Haley and Elijah, not because he even likes Haley, but because he would see it as you're taking something that's his. And that's how Klaus is. He's like a boy, he's like a kid who doesn't want to share his toys. The problem is he views people as toys. So he would be jealous and he would not like it because you're taking something that he sees as his. He wouldn't care. You know, he could care less about her. It's not about her. It's always about Klaus. You see, it's not even about Haley. It's about Klaus. Once again, Klaus, hot mess. My wife rarely watches TV, period, and has no interest in anything I'm watching. Actually, I don't think I've been with my wife. We've been together for about 19 years at this point. I don't think I've seen her watch television in years. She's a book reader. She reads. She's a reader and has no interest in watching movies, watching TV shows, anything like that. Which is fine. Which is fine. I actually find having different hobbies to be very healthy in a relationship. We have our alone time, which is good. It's good to have alone time. But yeah, I imagine Elijah would be such a cool uncle. He'd be a coolest uncle. He'd be a cooler dad, but I think Elijah would be a cooler uncle. Because you only want to be so cool as a dad. Because at the end of the day, you're a parent, not a friend. You're a parent, not a friend. And you can never forget that. So you can be a cool parent, but you got to be a parent. Whereas a cool uncle doesn't have to be a parent. He can be cool uncle. He can be as cool as he wants to be. He ain't got to worry about none of it. Yeah. Hybrids are more powerful as vampires, yes. But they also have the werewolf curse, which means minimum they have to have at least killed one person. You can be a vampire and never kill anybody. A werewolf has to have at least killed one person because that's how you trigger the curse. And two, you have the werewolf curse, which might not be a problem now, but it's another weakness that could be exploited by a witch or a warlock, like myself. I would be a warlock. I would find a way to use that werewolf curse to hurt you. Yeah. Parent teacher conference. There would be a homicide there because people would die. What is that damn about? Did I say something crazy? I don't know where the chat is when I'm talking. So. But yeah, I just went into it a little bit, I think. You're probably saying damn about my wife not watching television. Like literally nothing. No interest. She she won't let me put a TV in the bedroom. Which I get it. She doesn't watch TV. She doesn't want to deal with it, which is fine. I watch everything mostly on a computer monitor anyway. Gut feeling, boy or a girl? for the I don't have a gut feeling if it's a boy or a girl going on how I would do the television show if I was the person writing the originals. I would make Klaus have a girl because it would bring out a softer side of him, hopefully. It'll bring out the father with a daughter side. And as a father who has a daughter, having a daughter makes you soft. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't. And it doesn't have to make you super soft, but it does. I'm a pretty hard person, a lot of people say. You might not think that watching me, but in person, I'm not the easiest person to live with, to get along with. Uh, I have my moments. I'm a lot better than I used to be, but having a daughter softened my edges. And I think as a writer and creator of a show, you don't want to harden Klaus's edges, which a son would do, I think. I think a daughter would soften him up, would open up his character to be a little more caring, a little more less selfish, to actually put something above himself. And I think a daughter would do that, where I think if he had a son, he'd go into Michael mode and come off as a bigger asshole. That's what I think. But that's not really a gut feeling. That's more based on how I would write it. Got here. Klaus would be a psycho uncle. Klaus is just psycho, dude. Everyone's a pawn to him. Maybe a daughter would soften that up. A son would be a pawn. A daughter would still be a pawn, but it might soften him up a little bit. Ooh, what I'd like to introduce to the vampire world. Kitsunes. That's weird. That's a weird fox, right? Yeah, weird fox. That'd be cool. Let's see. And an angel. Angel would be interesting. Klaus has the twins. Klaus has, that's an interesting concept. Twins. I only heard one heartbeat though, whenever they heard the heartbeats. So I don't think it's going to be twins. Twins would be interesting because you get the best of both. But let me go back to what supernatural creature would I like to see introduced to the Vampire Diary world. They've introduced a lot already. A kitsune would be cool. Maybe a Korax, which is like a weird raven. That'd be cool. Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Actually stumped me on that. I'm trying to think what I would like to see in the Vampire Diaries universe. Something that I think would be very cool and would make sense for the universe we've given. You know what? I'm gonna go something darker. I'm gonna go demon, like a full on like truly before the dawn of the earth, ancient evil. Right now we've got witches and even Silas, the first immortal, tied to witches, and witches, like every supernatural is kind of tied to witches. Witches made vampires. Witches made the first immortal. Witches are kind of the key to everything. And I want something that predates the witches. Something that was here in the darkness, in the void. Something truly beyond even their power and their scope to create. Maybe even like a ancient one. We're going dark Cthulhu, creature beyond time and reality. Something just crazy like that would be cool. Lots of ask for shapeshifters. Very cool. Yeah, like it could be the root of all magic, like, or the root of dark magic, the root of the evil in the world that is called upon to make dark magic. It's tied to a ancient evil place, a reality of darkness where monsters are born and demons, you know, are birthed from the shadow. Just some really dark, ancient, Cthulhu esque, unimaginable evil. And not even evil, just this unimaginable, intelligent thing that is beyond good and evil. It just is. And it would just be crazy. And I think could be an interesting way to go. But I don't know. That's a tough question. Neil Caffrey would be awesome in the Vampire Diaries. He would have as much charisma as some of these vampires do, and he's just a regular old human. He would be a artist equal to Klaus. Klaus would be impressed with the art. Damon would be impressed with the con jobs. Elijah impressed with the suits and the style. Catherine and Caroline would fight over him because he's thinking Neil freaking Caffrey. Stefan would be his friend, maybe. They'd get hair tips from each other. But yeah, dude, I'm throwing that one out. Came to the company at a bad time. I'm sorry. We're talking about some dark stuff. The originals, I'd like to see probably the 1400s, maybe kind of in like England or Scotland or Ireland, wearing the kilts and the Celts, and that time would be cool. But dude, I would love to see Neil. You freaking hit it on the head there. You hit it on the head, like sold. Neil Caffrey would be great in the Vampire Diaries. He could pull a con on him, and it'd be great. Would not even need to be a vampire. He'd freaking charm everybody. He'd charm everybody, dude. It'd be so good. that is a fanfic that someone needs to write. Neil Caffrey, Vampire Diary universe. I mean, they could take place in the same universe. We don't know. So he takes a trip from New York down to Mystic Falls. He's on a case with Peter Burke. It'd be so good. It'd be so good. Shit, I want to see that. I want to see that. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good right there. Sorry, I got multiple monitors. I need a better setup for this, but yeah, you'd so watch that. So would I. It'd be great. I would never want Neil Caffrey to be a vampire, though. I think that would kill his soul. I don't think vampirism and Neil Caffrey would work. I think it would kill the spark that is in him. I mean, he is all about the life. But he'd be fine, dude. Oh, it'd be so good. We would have to have a scene though where they have to go to a swimming pool or somewhere, so we could all see Damon and Neil Caffrey shirtless, because that is what the viewers want. That'll get the ratings through the roof. Highest rated episode of all time. Werewolves are where it's at. Werewolves are cool. People might not like this. I do not like the werewolves in the Vampire Diaries. I don't. They aren't werewolf enough for me. Maybe the originals will get more actual werewolf shit. But I like werewolves to take on a Krynos form. The Krynos form is half man, half wolf. Look at The Howling. Look at Van Helsing. But I'm talking about the 9 foot tall, covered in hair, giant claws, mouth of teeth, werewolf. And in Vampire Diaries, we've seen a werewolf turn into a wolf, which is kind of cool. But mostly we just see the shining, glowing eyes. That's really it. Like, I want a full-on Krynos. I want giant, crazy looking wolf. That's what I want from a werewolf. And the Vampire Diaries doesn't do that for me. That's just where I'm at. Marcel and Elijah shirtless. Okay, hey, we're going to have a scene with all the men shirtless. All right. And all the women in bathing suits. We're covering both demographics. We're going to have a pool party scene. Neil Caffrey, the Michelsons, all the ladies, all the men, bathing suit, pool party, highest rated episode of all time. We're getting the men, we're getting the women, we're getting the bis, we're getting gay, we're getting trans, we're getting everybody in on this because there's someone for everybody, all in their bathing suits. Bring them all. Bring them all. We want the highest ratings of all time. No, not a Twilight-sized wolf. I'm talking a Krenos. I'm talking. Hold on. Werewolf the Apocalypse. All right, so a Krenos. Pulling out the book here. All right, let's hold on. I didn't plan on pulling this book out, but here we are. All right, so here's one of the clans or one of the tribes. That's a Shadow Lord. So you see what I'm talking about? That is a Krenos. That is a 9-foot tall werewolf with a sword, ready to whoop some ass. They can turn into human, they can turn into regular wolves, but their fight form is something like that. Full on badass werewolf. That's what I want to see. I want to see, and I get it, they can't do it because of the amount of cost it would do, the visual effects, the practical effects. They can't do that in a show, not constantly. I get it, they can't do it. But those are like when I think of a werewolf, that's what I think of. So if it's not that, it never lives up to my expectation. Now, I like the idea of the hybrids because they have the power of the werewolf, but being their hybrids, they keep their form. Makes a little more sense to me. But even then, I'd rather see a hybrid vampire turn into a 9-foot tall werewolf. Oh, someone's calmed down a little bit. Oh, someone's calmed down and wants to give me loving now. Yeah, that is a cool looking werewolf. Like, that's my werewolf. Lucifer. I have seen Lucifer. I have every reaction on Patreon and YouTube. They're all there. Go look at my Lucifer reactions. Have I seen Lucifer? Have you not seen my reaction to Lucifer? I got the entire series up. Hot take. I like the Vampire Diaries better than Lucifer. So take that how you want to take it. Yes, Red Riding Hood. They have a good werewolf. I've never seen Werewolf the TV show. Your television will explode with so much hotness? Yes, it would. Yeah, Lucifer is on Patreon and YouTube. The entire show run. In my Patreon, I finally got everything separated by name and season, so a little bit easier to find what's on there. Goodness, he's so nice when he's not a psycho. Yeah, I do love the Vampire Diaries. It is top 5 show for me, for sure. No, I have not seen the 80s werewolf TV show. I don't think either of them will make me hard cry. I'm just not a hard cry type of guy. I gotten teary eyed in the Vampire Diaries more than once, a little teary eyed. I don't know if the original will make me get teary eyed or not. I'm just not far enough into it to really know what's going to happen. Well, nothing's going to bring hard tears, like I said. I'm just not a hard crier. I don't know what would, honestly. And that's usually what gets me. It's not something I can anticipate. It's just something will just give me a flood of emotions and it'll make my eyes tear up. But I don't think I'll full out cry with anything that happens in any of the shows I watch. I don't think any show, correct me if I'm wrong if you've seen it, I don't think any show has made me full on weep. I don't think I full on wept in in many years. So I don't think that's going to happen. We will see. Which everything makes you cry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't cry very often. It's been years. I do get teary eyed from time to time, and I do have the occasional single man tear just fall down, and that's about as far as I get. But we shall see. Oh my goodness, can't even see through the screen. That's some heavy tears. But yeah, werewolves are cool. Werewolves are my favorite supernatural creature of all time. I love werewolves. Just not so much in the Vampire Diaries. That Werewolf the Apocalypse game is so fun. You get to play a werewolf, defending the world from evil. Though werewolves are their own worst enemy because they fight each other all the time because they're just dumb, rage-filled animals at the end of the day. Because they're part wolf and human, and guess what? Humans and wolves are both rage-filled animals who do dumb things. So it's fun. They killed Old Yeller. I didn't cry when they killed Old Yeller. Let me tell you the last time I cried watching something that I can think of. Black Beauty, the movie Black Beauty, at the end, when Beauty is up for auction in this just rundown auction house, sitting out there, and the boy that used to own her walks by, and Beauty does the little thing, and the owner turns around and realizes it's Beauty. Tears, my friend, like a little girl, crying my eyes out. Black Beauty. That's the last thing that did it. That gave me a full on cry. There's been a few things that I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten teary eyed at. A full on cry. Black Beauty, the thinking movie. I don't remember which version of the movie, but it was in color. It was more modern, probably in the 90s. Ooh, my goodness. So damn sad. It was so sad. And then it was happy crying too, because he bought. Well, the cat just hit my. The cat, not the cat. The guy bought. He bought Beauty and took her home, and she could live out the rest, or not her, his. He could live out the rest of his life. It was so it went from sad tears to happy tears, and it was just a hot mess. Visit for one day. What fictional world in my shows? Ah, that's a tough one to visit for one day. So like a vacation day. I don't want to go to Mystic Falls because I might die. I don't want to go to the Vampire Diaries world because I might die. If you're there for one day, there's a good chance you might die. Or yeah, so I don't want it to be that. White collar is just basically the real world, so probably either Babylon 5 or The Expanse, mainly because it's sci-fi, it's in the future, a lot of technology, a lot of cool things to experience. Plus, the worlds are not as inherently violent as some of my other shows, The Vampire Diaries. So I don't think I'd die just being there for one day. So maybe The Expanse, and I'd go to Mars. I'd spend a day on Mars. I could end up a vampire, but I'd rather be a witch than a vampire at the end of the day. So I don't think I can become a witch in one day. And I don't know if I'd like being a vampire, to be honest. I think I'd like it for a few hundred years, but honestly, living forever seems like such a chore. Like sometimes I think I have another 40, 50 years in my life now. Like, God damn, that seems so long. Like, I'll probably live another 40 or 50 years. Thinking I could live another thousand. Oh, God. Lion King was very sad. Yes. Long live the king. That was sad. Yeah. Scar died. When Scar died, it wasn't sad. Happy when he died, little bastard. You're making a joke, though. I get it. Ha ha ha. It was sad when the villain died. Scar was, he was such a great villain. I did not like the live action version at all. Um, yeah, did not like. I liked the original cartoon. See, you say you'd love to live forever. I don't know though. I don't know. I get bored now. Now, if you could put a few things on there, like I don't even know if you could add anything on there where I'd want to live forever. I think being rich and powerful would make it a little more fun for a while, but at the end of the day, you know, there's nothing new in your life. You've been alive for 500 years. You've had all the conversations. Nothing new to say. There's no new people. Even the new people you meet are just like people you met in the past. I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so many personalities. There's only so many kinds of people. There's only so many foods and joys. And I think eventually it would just be boring. That's why in the game that I play, Vampire the Masquerade, it is not uncommon for ancient vampires to go into a deep sleep for hundreds, thousands of years at a time because they're fucking bored, because they're just over it. Like, I get it. I get it. Just done. I'm done. Wake me up in 1,000 years and I'll see if anything cool's going on. And guess what? If there's not, I'm going back to bed for another 1,000 years. So maybe. I don't know. Ooh, Babylon 5 or The Expanse? I'll go and tell you this. Both of those shows are intense and long plot story arcs. I'm just into The Expanse, so I can't really say much beyond what I've watched, but they're probably not the best two shows for beginning sci-fi people, I wouldn't think. But if I had to choose one, I'd go Babylon 5. Keep in mind though, it was made in the 90s. It's a slow burn a lot, but let me tell you, once it gets going, holy shit, Babylon 5 is amazing. Amazing. Love it to death. But they are pretty slow burn, long plot driven shows. I speak more on Babylon 5 than The Expanse because I'm not that far into The Expanse. But yeah, Babylon 5, I'd give it a shot. See if it's your cup of tea. If it is, definitely watch it. It pays off. I mean, it's so good. The characters, the writing, the world, everything is amazing in Babylon 5. No complaints. B5 forever. Yep, there it is. Yeah, you do see technology get better, but you could also see the next world war and everything gets blown back to the last stone age, you don't know what's going to happen. And even then, I mean, technology, you run into the problem where you don't advance with the technology. Like, things change so quickly, you're still kind of stuck in the past and you become kind of outdated, and that becomes a problem. Like, there's 100 different things. I do think the idea of immortality is nice. I think I'd like to have the option, maybe. Then there's the whole drinking blood thing. And it's not really a moral question when it comes to me with drinking blood. If you got to drink blood, you got to drink blood. You can drink it out of blood bags or whatever. I don't like looking at blood. I'm not a big blood guy. I think blood's pretty freaking gross. And the thought of having to drink blood forever to live, maybe no, gross, gross. No, thank you. It just grosses me out. I don't think it'd be something I'd be very particularly good at. Now, I'd be better at eating flesh than drinking blood because you could at least cook it, right? Like make some people ribeyes or something. I don't know. I'm not talking about really being a cannibal for the YouTube algorithm. I'm talking about fictional world where I'm a vampire and must eat or drink, stuff like that. I'd rather cook meat than drink blood. It just grosses me out. I'm sorry. Ugh, not a blood guy. Ugh. All right, that's not a problem. Yeah, we went a little long, didn't we? But thank you for coming. I was glad you could be here. It was a great time. And we'll catch you next time. I'll see you on Patreon. Definitely send me a message in Twitter and we'll talk about maybe setting you up on one of the top tiers. Yeah, I know as a vampire you'd enjoy the blood and all that. And I think I'd enjoy the taste and everything because you crave it, you want it, you need it. But I think in my mind I would still be grossed out. Oh God, like I'd try to hide the blood. I'd mix it in like liquor or something. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not too keen on the idea of living forever. I'd rather just be a witch, be a warlock, have some powers, extend my life a little bit that way if I wanted to. I get around 80 and I'm like, you know what? I want to go another 20, 30 years, do some little magic mojo, extend my life within nature. It'd be fine. All right. Let's get any of those last minute questions in before we call it. But yeah, we have gone on for 3 hours now. Gone through some stuff. Yeah, like the witch in Chicago. Yeah, she had some magic. It just kept her alive a little bit. The next TO reaction will be next week. So sometime next week, I still have my reaction to finish this week. I will do an episode of probably TO and the originals next week. I'm watching them in a particular order. So I think my next episode, one or the other, but I'm probably gonna do two episodes. So we'll see where we go. There. Now the cat's attacking me again. Sweet for about 5 minutes. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here at the 3 hour and 2 minute mark. Thank you all for coming. It was an absolute blast. Hopefully, you enjoy my tier ranking and my ranting, and just we all had a good time together. It's fun to interact with folks. And thank you for supporting me on YouTube, on Patreon if you do. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I could not do this without you. The support is what keeps me going because that's why I do it. Not only do I love watching movies and TV shows, I love talking about it. I love interacting, and knowing people out there want to see what I do makes it worthwhile. So appreciate it. And yes, I will catch you all on the flip side. Take care.